SDFC.
Oh, nice. What's good? Guttural scream.
2
right
seconds
the show
before.
starts, and I'm so confused.
Man, that's how it's
all
done,
No,
son.
That's worthy of it.
SDFC against every critic, every prognosticator goes out there in its inaugural season and wins the West in the MLS. How the West was won by Mikey Varis and SDFC. Congratulations to those guys. I am massively impressed, and I believe we will be joined by one Mikey Varis tomorrow at
7:30
prime time for this. I want to call him the skipper of SDFC, but they don't call him. They call them managers, I think, if I'm not mistaken. These are all the
head coach in MLS, but most soccer teams call them the manager.
Man, I am so happy for those guys. I'm happy for all of our friends that are so attached to SDFC. The guys like Darren Smith, right? Not a bad first year, pal. Gets to go on there, but I just wanted to start the show off in that fashion because they utterly dominated a game that they really wanted to and needed to, and they dominated it. It was really exciting.
It is so rare for a San Diego team to
take care of business.
And everything falls together perfectly.
You got
the teams they need to lose.
Just
they win. They take care of business. Of course, now we'll see. What happens in the playoffs?
Well,
we can talk about that.
We'll see how San Diego they actually are, depending on what they do in the playoffs. Don't be really San Diego, fellas.
Sort of San Diego FC. Don't.
Yeah. We are at 3 different heights here in the YouTube feed, and I think it's my fault. Try to get this dialed in. Well, good morning, everybody. Happy Monday to you. It is Ben and Woods, 97.3 The Fan. I'm Woodsy. That's Paul Reindl, the executive producer of the program. Benjamin Higgins, how are you, Paulie?
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing great, man. Your friendly neighborhood sports anchor, Ben Higgins, joins us as well. Good morning, Benjamin.
Good morning, everybody.
Good to be here. How was everyone's weekend?
It's pretty good. Got some stuff done on Saturday.
Stuff done.
Needed to get my car serviced. Oil change. Coolant light was on.
Oh. Wait, I can even add coolant. You didn't add coolant?
I did, but I was worried there was a leak. That shouldn't be, dripping out. But they figured it out. I did wait around. It's always that dilemma. Do you wait or do you not wait? I ended up waiting about 3 hours, which kind of eats into your Saturday quite a bit. You think, it might be an hour and a half. It's going to be more like 2. And by the time you get out of there, it's actually 3 hours, and you realize, all right, well, that was pretty much my entire Saturday.
It's a good time to catch up on a show, a Netflix show, or something like that you have. What did you do? Just read sports stories?
Mostly just scrolled social media for 3 hours. I think I took a brief nap in one of the chairs.
I can totally see it. Pulled the old Brian Snitker, sitting at in the lobby.
And then yesterday, very fun. Got invited by my old friend, Tier 1 and a station sponsor, Jeff Padilla Law Group, to play golf. I went to Del Mar Country Club. Very, very nice course. Had not been there in probably more than 20 years. And played a really good round. He's a scratch golfer. It's like less than a 1 handicap.
That's a nightmare.
He beat me, but it was close. It was close. Tough course though.
Yeah.
Tough. Over 74 rating, 141 slope for golfers. You know what that means. If you don't, just picture like a PGA Tour level difficulty.
Amazing.
Of course.
That's a fun Sunday. We had a fun Sunday as well. After, I'd say 2:00, because our kids left and they went to their grandparents, and there's a feeling of peace that washes over you. My wife walked into the bedroom, and I looked at her. I go, "They're really gone?" And she goes, "They are." And I go, "They have been so challenging. Just so a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old. They've been so challenging, and we have not had a breather, and we certainly haven't had any time together." If you know what I mean.
When you are parents of children who are that age, there are no vacations, there's no time off, there's no PTO. It doesn't matter what you're doing at work.
Right.
It only matters whether or not you're taking care of your kids or not.
That's right. I mean, hey, everyone's like, Woodsy, you've been on 15 vacations this year. Yeah, with my kids, except for one. And then the whole time you're gone, you feel guilty for being gone. And I'm going through that again as I'm about to leave tomorrow to go to Arizona and play in a baseball tournament. For hopefully like 5-6 days, but it could end on Friday. I have no idea how we do.
Just don't be too San Diego.
For real. We've won it before. So we have brought championships back to San Diego. I'd like to do it again. I had several people drop out over the weekend. Nice. A couple of my better players, as I told you guys it would happen. I knew it was going to happen. I've gotten it all replaced and worked on, and we'll figure it out. We're gonna tee it up anyway and see what happens. On Wednesday night will be our first game. But yesterday when my mother-in-law said, no, I want to take the kids. We're going to do a spooky sleepover. Ooh. We're going to carve pumpkins. We're going to, have a good time. And I said, bless you, Queen, for taking these dudes. And best of luck to you. Best of luck to you. Have a blast. My wife and I got a chance to go to dinner alone and had a great time. We got a chance to walk over to Trader Joe's and walk up and down the aisles. We're just having a ball. We stopped by, we went to this place in Encinitas. It's called the Dumpling Bar.
I've been, love Dumpling Bar.
You recommend it. Paulie went to Din Tai Fung over the weekend. So you got your
Din Tai
Fung. You sucked down some dumplings.
Oh, my coworkers are full of dumplings.
We are the dumpling boys.
You and I talked on Friday night, and you're like, oh, what do you guys got planned? And I told you, yeah, we're going to Din Tai Fung. You're like, oh yeah, that sounds good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we should. Hey, babe, we should do that this weekend. And I'm thinking, good luck on those reservations.
So I didn't know.
I imagine you went and looked,
Paulie. I thought it was like Chili's, like you just walk in. I really did. You didn't break my heart.
I could have told you. I was like, he'll figure it out.
So I don't look for a reservation until yesterday, and I'm like,
no chance.
Hey, babe, let's hit Din Tai Fung at like 5. So I scroll. They're like,
you got to go. Nothing. They go 30 days in advance.
30.
You pick the date like a month out. And then, they are slammed constantly.
Well, your wife posted the menu, and I go, I gotta have this.
It's elite.
So then I started. Once I realized I couldn't get it, I started craving dumplings, and I've not even had dumplings, but I wanted dumplings. So we settle on Dumpling Bar. We're crossing our fingers as we walk in. There's only a few people there, so we got right in. We sat down. We had these chicken wonton dumplings that were.
They're amazing.
They're so good.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at her. She's looking at me. We're like slurping these dumplings down. I'm like, should we get like a dozen more? Because these are unbelievable.
My wife and I, we go probably 2, maybe 3 times a year to Din Tai Fung. And I have noticed that when it's just us, I'm like self-conscious a little bit. I'm like, we look like monsters, I bet. For context, we went to, at UTC. We got there like 5 o'clock on Saturday. We were seated at a 2-top table in between 2 other what looked like dates.
Yeah.
What I assume are dates. We sat down, shoved food in our mouths, and left before both tables were done. And I love being married.
Us too. We're in and out before every other person in
when
there.
They bring you the dumplings in those steamer baskets, and they start piling up higher and higher as you bring them,
just
and it's
shoveling them.
Yeah, a lot of dumplings for just 2 people, but you can't stop because they're so good. The only thing that slows you down is that they're so hot when they get to your table. You want to eat them, but you kind of have to wait a second, or you're just going to incinerate your mouth.
So in that shopping center where the Dumpling Bar is, we finish up, and I go, let's walk down to Trader Joe's. We can just have some time together because we never have time alone because there's always 2 little a-holes running around. Mom, Bo hit me. Taylor punched me. And you're like, let's just enjoy each other.
One of them rides up in the cart sometimes, or no, not anymore.
What do you mean?
Like when they put their legs
I'm not even talking about at the store.
Okay,
I'm just talking about in life in general. You just can't get away from them. As hard as you could lock yourself in your bedroom and they'll... They're everywhere. Everywhere you turn, everywhere. So I looked at her. I go, is this really happening? This is amazing. I'm actually having a great time. Yeah. What? Stop it. Bo hit me. Bo punched me. Well, Taylor did this. So we walk down. We're walking down to Trader Joe's, and we pass the Gap. And I think to myself, I need some plain white T-shirts and some plain black T-shirts. I am running low. Mine are getting frayed. What better place to stop than the Gap? Perfect. The basics. I walk in. I look around. I go, there's some white T-shirts. I pick them up. They're crop tops. Oh, here's some black t-shirts. Pick them up, crop tops. I'm like, this is weird. Walk down the right aisle, all the way to the back to the clearance rack where they usually tuck the men's section in one little tiny corner. Nothing. I walk to the left. I walk around. No. Walk back up front again. Stop. Stand at the front. Look at all the advertisements that are hung. It's all women. Oh, what's this room over here? Surely there'll be men's stuff in there. No, it's for kids. Kids and babies. That whole section. So I walk in there because we're kind of babies sometimes. So I look to see. There's not one article of men's clothing in the Gap. Not one.
It's a men's free Gap.
It's a men's free Gap. And I said to Hannah, I go, I think am I insane? Or is this, they have omitted men's clothing? She goes, no, that couldn't be. There's another guy in there and he's walking around with the same look. Like, what? Where am I? And I go, hey, buddy, are you looking for? He goes, yeah, I'm looking for a couple shirts and some pants. I go, do they not have men's clothes anymore here? He goes, I think so. I just told my wife that, but she thinks I'm going crazy. And I go, well, I don't see anything. There was nothing. There was no men's clothing at the Gap. Does anybody know if this is a thing?
Is it possible that men's clothing no longer looks like you remember and you were looking at men's clothing? That you thought maybe it was women's clothing?
I mean, unless men wear half shirts.
They might.
Which they might. I did not understand that we had omitted.
Can't remember the last time I've been to the Gap.
Same.
That was
the thing. And that's why I just wanted the basics. So maybe they have done away with men's clothing altogether. Or maybe at that one, they're like,
I'm trying to think of any like comparable store that I have been in. Like,
Banana Republic.
They all have men's clothes. There's like a small little wall of men's clothes.
Like Dominic said, do all these broccoli haircut little freaks, they just wear crop tops now? Because I don't know. But I don't know. I went and looked and they didn't have anything. So we went to Trader Joe's and we got some snacks and whatnot and had a really, really nice time. A very relaxing evening. Now, here's the kicker. I just mentioned that I'm leaving tomorrow right after the show, like 10:01. I'm out the door heading to Arizona. Happens to be fall break for my 7-year-old. So he's off school entirely.
All week
long.
How convenient for you.
Now, when I originally booked this, I did not know that this was during fall break. I'm not an idiot. I am an idiot, but I would never have done it. I would have gone to another tournament, and there are a couple different companies you can go with. I would have gone to the other one. It would have been already done. My wife has been remarkably calm about it. It's because it hasn't happened yet, but she's been remarkably calm. So today is an interesting one because she thought I was leaving today. So she has a bunch of stuff planned with her and the kids.
But you're still here.
But I'm still here.
Because I would have thought today would be the day. I've got the kids all day because I'm going to be gone. So you're going to take them. But you're not taking them.
I'm not taking them.
Why not? You could.
I could, because originally she said,
I just step in with whatever plans she's made.
Or at least
and
tag
then
along.
Take them and then give her the day off.
Great question. All great suggestions. But she originally, as of like maybe 5 days ago, the plan was she and the kids and her mom were going to go up to Knott's Scary Farm.
Sounds
up
fun.
in the LA area.
Correct.
Yep.
So it was originally we're going to go to Anaheim. We're going to go Anaheim. We're going to go to Knott's,
a little north of Anaheim, but
Knott's Berry Farm. I said, well, that sounds great. Since you guys are doing that, she said, my plan was I was going to go get some treatment on my body.
Again?
To get ready for the tournament. Cold tub, hot tub, steam room.
Again.
Back to the same.
Different. I upgraded on this one. But knowing they were going to do that, I went and booked this. So essentially,
you're going on a spa day.
I'm having a spa day.
You're taking a spa day before your vacation, while your wife takes the kids on the field trip up to Knott's Scary Farm.
Now she planned it. This was all her planning.
Thinking you weren't going to be
Thinking I wasn't going to be here in the state.
But you are.
But I am.
And you're still not going.
I booked the spa, Paulie. It's booked. I can't back out now.
You couldn't do a spa day in Phoenix tomorrow?
I probably could have done one Wednesday.
Since you're going out there tomorrow after the show and you play Wednesday night?
At 8.
At 8 p.m.
I might do one when I'm out there.
Second spa day this week.
Third in 10 days. So I go to her. I go, wait, so you're going to Knott's Berry Farm? She goes, yeah. Well, then she comes back over the weekend and goes, oof. I don't think we're going to do Knott's Berry Farm. So I start panicking. And I'm like, do you want me to cancel my spa day? She goes, no, I don't. I want you to go take care of yourself and have fun. I said, well, you're an angel. So then the best part is what it's now turned into. There's no Knott's Berry Farm. They're not going. So yesterday, she's at the computer. I go, what are you doing? And she goes, I'm looking at tickets for Universal Studios. I think we're going to go up there now. Whew, and I go, man, it's a much further drive, but have a great time. You sure you don't want me to go? I'm sure.
Studio tour.
Yeah, do the whole thing.
Shows. Yeah.
So then, last night I go
Harry Potter World.
Harry Potter World. My kids love Harry Potter. I don't even know I don't know if they're my kids.
As an
they
adult,
love Harry Potter.
Pretty awesome. I imagine for a kid, it's the greatest thing you've ever
She
seen.
looks at the price and she goes, yeah, I'm not spending $1,000 to take that on a Monday. I go, you know what? Good call. You know what it's now, I guess, devolved into? You know where they're going now?
The kids don't know any of this, right?
They have their mind, they're still going to Knott's Berry Farm.
Oh, they did know Knott's Berry Farm.
Knott's Berry Farms, they knew.
Okay.
They also knew their dad wouldn't be there. She says, I think we're just going to go to Bates Nut Farm. And I go, oh my God, they're going to be so disappointed.
What's the difference between a berry farm and a nut farm, really?
Right.
I mean, they're
exactly
pretty much the same thing.
So they are now going to Nate's Butt Farm, which is, by the way,
that's what the kids always call it.
I've been in town. It'll be 15 years in February. I've managed to avoid it every single year.
We went every year with our kids.
Never been.
I mean, maybe one year we skipped, but I must have gone up there at least 7 times with the children.
Oh yeah.
Drive all the way up through like Valley Center.
Oh yeah.
Up to everyone knows what we're talking about. Bates Nut Farm.
Oh yeah.
Big old house with all the nuts and candies and then outdoor activities.
Our house is actually a nut farm as well, between everyone that lives in it. The nut house, as we call it. But I've managed to now avoid Nate's Butt Farm successfully for
parking like you're going to the fair or something.
Yes, in some dirt lot.
It's a store. It really is just a store.
15 years, Benny and Paulie. I've been 96 to the ribs. Not me. Moved out of the way.
Pumpkin patch.
Right.
You're not none of it.
Did you throw it at my head? Nope. I got out of the way. 15 years I've avoided Nate's Butt Farm. And I'm going to avoid it in the great year of 2025. Once again, my wife taking one for the team.
When you're coming home, Dad, I don't know when we'll get together.
And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon. So whilst my family is out traipsing around, where is it? Valley Center?
Way up in Valley Center.
Your boy will be in some Roman bath. I did
champagne and strawberries,
eating some chicken salad croissant. Just hope they're having a good time. I'll see them on Sunday, maybe. And I go, babe, I'm telling you, I promise I will cancel it. She goes, do not cancel it. You're going to love it. It's a place that she loves to go. She goes, and you know how sweet she is? She goes, I'm not going to be there long. I got a bunch of stuff to do. I just need to get in and get some treatment, right? Some cold, some hot, some sauna. I just need to get my body feeling better. And she goes, no. I'm
sure your children will understand.
I'm sure they will. And she goes, they're going to have more fun without me there bitching about it the whole time. Why are we going here? What is this place? I don't like pumpkins. so while they're around Valley Center, I'm literally going to be laying in a chaise lounge. Hannah goes, I want you to stay for at least a few hours and enjoy it because it's such a rad place. And I go, okay, if I must. I can't believe it worked out this way, but that's exactly how it worked out.
And then tomorrow after the show, you're just hopping in your car and heading to Arizona.
I am. It's not my finest moment. It's really not. But she has done a incredible job at not making me feel even a shred guilty. Now I'll get it. Now it's one of those trips too. And you guys, Paul, you don't know this, but yeah, maybe a little bit. It's different with kids, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But there are trips that you go on, and your wife doesn't want to be by herself, right? And you don't, nobody wants to have to do everything by themselves. It's going to be one of those trips where it's real dicey about how much you check in, how much you FaceTime, maybe once a day. How's everything? And then, oh God.
Just get ready.
And just get ready. I've learned over the years to really just temper. When you're gone, be gone. I've told her the same thing. When you're gone, be gone. Like, don't worry about us. We'll be fine. I'll let you know if anything major happens. But the call in, when we first had kids, I'd leave. I'd be gone for 2 hours. I'd be like, everything okay?
Yeah.
Is everything good? Are you mad? And then you just learn, like, she can handle it. Don't interrupt. Maybe one FaceTime a day, say hello to everyone, and then you got to let it go, or you're a dead man. So I don't, like I said, it's not my finest moment, but.
When you tell them, listen to your mom, do what your mom tells you, listen to your mom.
They're like, have fun playing baseball with your friends. You're a grown man. Oh, man. So I'll be at the spot if anybody needs me. Pretty good life.
All right, let's get going here. We'll set the menu in a second, but I did want everybody to know, if you haven't seen already, when we joined you on Friday, started the show, obviously that story from The Athletic with Dennis Lynn, talking about the San Diego Padres dropped. We discussed it briefly on Friday morning. Over the weekend, we extended an invitation to Padres CEO Erik Greupner, who was part of that piece, if he would like to come on our program and talk about the Padres and, respond to what was in Dennis's piece. And
care to respond, sir?
He accepted the invitation.
Much to our chagrin.
No, but maybe somewhat to...
You lob it out there. You're like, hey, would you like to respond? He's like, actually, I would. You're like, oh, I didn't think you were going to call my bluff. So we'll see you at 8 a.m. on Monday.
So we will be asking him about that and everything else. Mike Schultz's departure, the offseason, the Padres, AJ Preller's status. We will be talking about all those things with the CEO of the San Diego Padres, AJ Preller, Erik Greupner, who's going to join us at 8 o'clock this morning. Around that, we'll do our kind of a regular Monday show, but we'll set the menu when we come back. Let's get our first check of traffic with Kelly Danick, and then we are off and running on a Monday with Bennett Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. First, though, Woods and I get to talk about trust and will first thing on a Monday morning. Monday morning's always a good time to take care of things that you don't want to worry about the rest of the week. How about something you don't need to worry about? Well, hopefully for the rest of your life, and that is your estate documents. If you have not settled your estate and had a plan for what's going to happen when you're gone, you could leave your family in a world of hurt, stuck in probate court, or even worse, if you have kids and you haven't named a guardian for your kids in a will, the state will end up deciding where your kids go, like what family members they go to or not, just ending up in the system because you didn't take just like less than an hour to get it done by going to trustandwill.com.
Yeah, very simple to do. And as I leave town, again, Ben, my wife knows that all the documents are right there in the desk. Really hope she doesn't need them. But if I keep leaving town, she might need them sooner than later. Go to trustandwill.com. Use the code radio20 when you check out, and they'll give you 20% off of your trust or will, and take great care of you and make it very, very simple to do. It's an online thing. Takes, like you said, maybe less than an hour, but very, very simple. Trustandwill.com, and they'll give you 20% off your trust or will.
Used to be you had to go to a lawyer's office. Billable hours was an expensive process. No longer. It's now affordable. It's easy to do, and the documents are just as good as what you'd get from a lawyer's office. Legally binding and just as taking care of your family as you need it to be. So go to trustandwill.com. Use code radio20 at checkout for 20% off your trust or your will at trustandwill.com.
Claire. This is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
There are between 5 and 8 baseball games left this season. No fewer than 5, no more than 8 remaining between now and the offseason for everybody. Welcome back, Ben and Woods, on a Monday morning here on 97.3 The Fan. We know we've got a Game 7 of the American League Championship Series this evening in Toronto, and then we have at least 4 World Series games following that, and we will talk about what happened in the baseball playoffs since we last joined you on Friday.
That was a fun one, wasn't it?
Certainly.
Wow. Again, made the point. You weren't going to see me tweeting anything negative about Shohei Ohtani because I know what he's capable of. I know what the minute I tweeted it, it would have been what happened on Friday night.
It was a good game. He had a good game.
He had a very, very well-rounded, nice game.
You could argue
I don't
the
think
greatest game ever played.
I don't know that we need to,
extol his virtues.
Just get it really down to the nitty gritty. Can we all acknowledge?
Let's all just agree.
Fans,
it was great. Great job.
Shohei Ohtani had a really, really good game on Friday. We'll let you contextualize it.
You, Ben Verlander, everybody else. My favorite part of it was waking up to these tweets. Paulie, do you have any like sad music or like, I need some of these. Yeah. Waking up to thousands of these. Every day I wake up, I fall to my knees, and I thank God above that I get to breathe the same oxygen as Shohei Ohtani. Everyone, and I mean everyone, even if you hate the Dodgers, better be on your knees unbuckling that man's pants this morning. Every one of you. And if you don't, you're an idiot who hates baseball. We are so lucky to breathe the same air and be on the same planet and be in the same orbit as one Shohei Ohtani. And remember, if you don't agree with me, you're a buffoon. Thousands of them. And I mean thousands of them.
I mean, you could still argue that he's had 1.5 out of 10 good games for the Dodgers in the postseason.
It was a really good one.
8.5 games out of 10. He's kind of underperformed this postseason.
He's pretty good.
But no one's going to remember that now.
No, God, no.
And somehow a 3-war in the playoffs.
Yeah, MVP. From literally like scuffling at the dish to MVP. Like 2 for 28. They're like, actually, after that, you're the MVP. He's like, all right. I mean,
and it was probably the right call.
There's no question. It's what he's capable of being able to drop on you.
So we'll talk baseball last week and a half or so of the baseball season coming up. We will talk SDFC again. Already mentioned it. They are off to the playoffs as the number 1 seed in the Western Conference after a great weekend. It was terrific. We are going to our Padres smorgasbord is just kind of we're getting ready for Erik Greupner to join us. So we'll talk about that. Get you ready for the Padres CEO to join us at 7:35 today. Don't have a specific topic that's going to drive the conversation because I think Erik Greupner is going to kind of start driving the conversation going forward when he joins us at 8 o'clock this morning. We will have Craig Elston on at 8:35 to react both to SDFC, to the Padres moves of this past week, and to what Erik Greupner has to say at 8:35. And we will have our regular features. Don't do this. Take on Woods, still trying to qualify for the trip to Las Vegas, the Jerry Seinfeld tickets, and the Rindle Report in our 9 o'clock hour as well. So that's what we've got on the menu for today. Let's check traffic. We'll get into baseball to start. Maybe some football at some point as well.
There'll be some football, some college football, my friend.
I know Woods' team, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, kind of back in the conversation again for the college football playoff after their win over USC.
You conveniently leave out that you also root for USC when they get bodied by my beloved Fighting Irish. This is a war we could be having.
I would have picked Notre Dame in the game. I'm not a blind like Trojan honk who thinks they can do no wrong. And Notre Dame's a much better program right now with a better coach. No doubt about that. And they proved it over the weekend.
I can't impart to you, just as a person who loves sports and things, how badly I needed that win. I needed it so badly. I felt like I was in the desert and somebody goes, here's some eco water. I needed it so badly.
I'm glad for you though. I didn't need a USC.
You didn't need a USC. I needed it.
I don't care that much.
And especially after, the Friday night before with the Dodgers winning the pennant, I go, I can't stomach it, man. I gotta have one. That was date night for us.
Yeah. And we were driving around like through La Jolla and we were at a stoplight and I looked over and there was a bar and they had all the TVs had the game on and I'm like squinting. I go, hey babe, what does that say? 27-24, right? All right, it's got to be close. Got to be close to the end of the game here.
It was just how, and I think every sports fan can relate to this, right? Like when you just have to have one, man, you're just like, I'm in sports hell right now. I'm in purgatory. And then they get that one, and you're like, thank you, man. Thanks for just a 1 week of a respite of feeling like a complete and total loser. Like you just got it, and you wanted it so bad.
I know we're going to get into the baseball here. I I was thinking about it last night. I grew up in Seattle. It's actually really weird. I grew up in Seattle. I rooted for the Seattle Mariners for like 20 years.
Yeah.
I moved down here. I became a Padres fan. I consider myself, a San Diegan. Like, San Diego Padres are my team. And until they win the World Series, I haven't rooted for a World Series winner.
Right.
And the Mariners they're getting closer than they've ever gotten. I have no attachment to them. I'm rooting for them.
You feel nothing, yeah.
But I'd be rooting for the Minnesota Twins or whatever. Like, it's the same thing for me.
There's a difference. I'm seeing a lot of different reports. Like, man, I don't want to be one of the only teams in the. Well, we've made the World Series, but if they won it, you don't want to be one of those last teams. I don't know that I necessarily feel that way. I think I would be really happy for the Mariners and their fans.
I'm watching last night, though, and as that game's slipping away from them, I mean, Friday night's game was incredible. We can get to that, but seeing last night's game slip away, and I started thinking about my buddies, and I'm like, dude, Roger, Wade, like, those guys, they have to get through this game,
get through today,
and then they have 24 hours of just a nauseous pit in your stomach waiting for Game 7. I'm like, that ain't us.
No,
I mean, I guess I'd rather be in that situation than team in Cancun, but still, you're like, dude, playoff baseball is gnarly.
It's not for the faint of heart.
You're getting bodied. It's not like you're in the game and you lose a 1-run heartbreaker. All right, Game 7 tomorrow. Like, you got bodied.
Yeah,
you had to just
worked.
suffer through that. And then know that there's the decisive Game 7 tonight.
Yeah, it's tough, dude.
Ugh.
Well, Friday was a spectacular day of baseball. We will talk about both of those games coming up next year after a check of traffic on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
This game day traffic report is brought to you by Crystal Geyser, Alpine Spring Water. Couple of problems here, guys. One of them is this collision on southbound 67 at the Riverford Road off-ramp. A couple vehicles involved there over the right shoulder, and reports of a possible encampment fire eastbound 78 at Broadway. Some smoke coming from a ditch over to the right shoulder. What makes Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water different? They always bottle their Alpine Spring Water less than 1.5 miles from the spring source. And all of their bottles are made with 50% recycled plastic from their own recycling plants. Crystal Geyser, bottled at the spring source. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Wood, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
I mean, it took a monumentally historic performance by Shohei Ohtani to steal the headlines away from what otherwise was maybe the most exciting game of the postseason, and that was Game 5 between the Mariners and the Blue Jays on Friday, when the Mariners were 6 outs away from falling behind in the series 3-2, losing all 3 on their home field to the Toronto Blue Jays, and basically slinking back to Canada ready to be eliminated when Cal Raleigh and Eugenio Suarez step up in the 8th inning and just light the Pacific Northwest on fire. First with the game-tying home run by Cal Raleigh off Brendan Little. What a moment that was, as the ball just sailed far enough over the left field fence to tie the game at 2.
I think it went higher than it did.
Highest,
It went higher than it did far. I mean, it was like great.
You just had to wait so long for it to come down.
It was like a 12-second wait.
When is this going to come down? And then it just fell apart for the Blue Jays. Sir Anthony Dominguez after that, loading the bases, and then Eugenio Suarez with the grand slam to give them the 6-2 win and at least give them a chance going into Toronto for the last couple of games. Of course, they lost yesterday 6-2, forcing that Game 7, as Paulie mentioned later today. It's 5:08 p.m., but that does not take away from how amazing that Game 5 was on Friday night in Seattle.
Eugenio Suarez, man, you have to feel good for him. He was the big deadline acquisition, and it had not gone super well for him since he got to Seattle. Hit a homer earlier in the game, which was great. You feeling like you get your stroke back, and then to be able to hit the grand slam that propels them to the next game. They showed his post-game interview, and he had his daughters up there. I mean, if you're not a human being, it didn't affect you. If you are a human being, it totally affected you. He was getting emotional talking about it, and you put in the work. And sometimes you get blessed. The baseball gods shine on you for a day or moment, and that's kind of what he said. And when he hit that ball, when he did it, oh my God, he did it. Oppo just yacked it out of there. It was an incredible moment for them. But baseball, has a funny way of de-rewarding you. The next day, he boots 2, and they end up losing the game. I mean, it is just the cruelest sport.
It doesn't change the fact that 3 out of the last 4 games, the Blue Jays bats have been pretty effective against Seattle Mariners starting pitching, which was supposed to be their strength. And
you see that ERA last night? I mean, you look at the compare and contrast for the Dodgers starters ERA as in comparison to the Mariners. And that's, again, that's the strength of their team. That's when we did a roundtable and you asked for a dark horse to win the World Series. And I said the Seattle Mariners. And I said it's because of their starting pitching. And this is, I think, before they went out and got some bats, Naylor and Suarez. And I said, but I think a good starting staff can help propel you to a World Series victory. Their ERA is like 6 for the starters. They cannot find a way to figure it out. You know, Castillo
and Gilbert in particular have kind of fallen
Brian
off
Wood
badly.
Must be hurt.
I mean, he came in relief in the one game. He says he's available, felt pretty good coming out of that. So he says he's available in relief today. George Kirby will get the start.
Kirby's got the
He's
start.
had a couple of good outings in the postseason, had a not so great outing as well. But the question is, can you hold the Toronto bats down in their own stadium? Toronto, I mean, they are like the Padres plus because they make contact, they don't strike out,
and they hit bombs.
But they also have power, and they have it throughout their lineup. And we saw that yesterday with Addison Barger getting hot. You know, those guys are near the bottom of their lineup start getting hot. That is one of the more dangerous lineups in the league. And at this time, at this moment, with those guys swinging well, you feel like Toronto's got everything going for them, but it's one game. Anything can happen.
Truly. I mean, in game 7, too, everything goes out the window. Everybody's available. Like the Blue Jays will have every pitcher available except for Trey Yasavage today. Every single one.
Which is big because he's been
great.
Undoubtedly.
He's been great.
Like postseason savior. He's made 6 starts in his career. Half of them have been in the playoffs, and maybe the reason that they get to the World Series if they win this game today.
So I saw a tweet yesterday that came out before first pitch in Toronto. Jorge Castillo tweets a telling stat before first pitch here in Toronto. Teams that have hit multiple home runs in a game this postseason are 19-2. 19-2 is that's no joke. So teams that have hit, again, more than one home run. And you look at
now do bunts.
Right. Teams that sacrifice bunt or 1-21 is my guess. I don't know, somewhere around.
But
there.
It tells you that it's possible to go what the Padres were trying to do offensively, and that is put the ball in play, make contact,
but minus the slug.
But you can
run.
also add some slug to it. There is a way to do it, and the Toronto Blue Jays, you know, they're hitting like 290 as a team in the playoffs. No other team is hitting like better than 220. You know, it's hard to hit in the playoffs.
What are the Dodgers hitting in the playoffs?
They're hitting pretty low too.
Are they?
I mean, yeah, they have not put together a huge amount of offense.
I wonder what their slug is
in the postseason. They've gotten more home runs, but they strike out a lot.
They do.
They do strike out a lot. The Blue Jays do not. They put the ball in play. Yesterday, it was more about putting the ball in play. Yes, they got the Barger home run, but there were some soft hits, just, you know, good contact that fell in. You can say it's lucky, you know, but you can also easily not get lucky one day when you're just doing it in play. But if you add a little bit of power to that, you become very dangerous.
Yeah, Dodgers did strike out 10 times in their win on Friday, but 3 home runs from your leadoff hitter and your starting pitcher. So, yeah, it's a really good recipe for a delicious pastry, isn't it?
Yeah, so the Milwaukee Brewers were the best team in baseball until, of course, they were not. I don't think anyone here was fooled into thinking that the Milwaukee Brewers were actually the best team in baseball. I was a little surprised at how meekly they went out in that series against the Los Angeles Dodgers. In 4 games, never really, other than the first game, never really putting up much of a fight, a disappointing end to what was a very good season for the Milwaukee Brewers, but they just looked totally outmatched.
I believe it was the worst hitting performance in the history of the NLCS, if I'm not mistaken.
Cool.
Credit.
Cool.
Obviously, credit goes to former Cy Young winner Blake Snell, Tyler Glasnow,
Yoshinobu
Yamamoto, and Shohei Ohtani. They get the lion's share of the credit, certainly. But also the Brewers completely lost the plot of who they are and how they got there. And it's hard to say, you guys no-showed this series. You just ran up against 4 chainsaws, dude. You really did.
It would have been tough to pick an MVP had Ohtani not hit the 3 home runs and he had just been one of the 4 pitchers.
You could have gone co-MVPs.
Probably, the entire starting pitching staff. I guess you could have given it to Yamamoto for the complete game.
That was nasty.
But they were all just so effective.
Shohei made it easy on you.
But Shohei, they all pitched well, except he also hit 3 home runs in the last game.
Struck out 10, and he also pitched well and hit 3 home runs.
So after the game, they're celebrating, as they have become accustomed to doing the last few playoff series over the last couple of years. Our friend Dave Roberts takes the microphone and stirs things up a little bit.
I broke my back.
Oops, that's not the right.
Ben, you do a great job.
Whoops.
My back is broken.
That would be funny if he said that.
Takes the microphone in front of everybody and says, hey, they said in the offseason, we have the actual quote here from Dave Roberts. Yeah.
They said, I'll tell you, before this season started, they said the Dodgers are ruining baseball. Let's get 4 more wins and really ruin baseball. Let's go.
Wow.
Feel like I'm kind of one of the people who said, at least partially, the Dodgers are kind of ruining baseball with what they're doing. They're not doing anything to prove me wrong. If you're a Dodgers fan, you love this. You love this.
If this was us, we would have our pants off.
Of course.
In here. This morning.
Nude.
The all-nude Ben and Woods pennant celebrating show. All nude.
I know there's an argument. Dynasties are exciting and are interesting. Having the entire National League just get beaten down in the postseason by the Dodgers, I don't know is the most entertaining or best thing for baseball.
It's not.
Have your brains bashed in by a team that outspends everybody else 2-1, 3-1, 4-1.
Can I say this? It's nice to finally hear him admit that they are the favorites. That, to me, the quote didn't bother me. If he had gotten on, you know what would pissed me off worse? He gets on there. We did it, guys. Nobody thought we could do it, man. Against all odds, we did this. I'm so proud of these guys. They scrap, they grind. Blake Snell threw a whopping 60 innings this year. How did he do it? Tyler with 83 innings. Amazing, grindy job. That would have infuriated me. My hair would have fallen out. The fact that he comes on and says, we are the evil empire. We're going to ruin baseball. Good. I give him credit for that, Benny. I really, really do.
It's a line that fired up Dodger Stadium, clearly.
Oh, yeah.
But it is also one that will be reckoned with in the offseason, especially if the Dodgers cruise through the World Series as well, and then start outspending everybody again this offseason.
Well, that's what's going to happen. And brace yourself for it. Again, they didn't do anything wrong, per se. They didn't.
All this bitterness is not bitterness. It's probably a little bit bitterness. It's jealousy that they have the TV deal and the money to do literally whatever they want and stash all-star caliber players until August and September.
Until they need them, and they can afford to make those mistakes.
It's not good for baseball if 29 teams feel like, what's the point? It's not good for baseball.
All right, let me ask. Let me
Dave is leaning into that, but if they continue to bludgeon everybody else with money, and everyone else feels like, why should we spend anything when I know we can't even come close to competing against them? That's not good for baseball. Well, it's not good for baseball players either.
But again, why is that their problem? And
it's not. It's baseball's problem. Baseball needs to fix that problem. I've been saying it for a long time.
I don't want to be the bitter show. I'll be a realist. I hate it. It sucks. But let's continue this because I think it is an interesting conversation.
All right, we will continue this discussion. Hour number 2. Don't forget, all guests on Ben and Woods appear on the David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline. We've got Erik Greupner coming up at 8 o'clock, facing criminal charges. Trust David P. Shapiro criminal defense attorneys, helping clients regain control since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. We'll come back. More baseball talk, SDFC as well, next here on 97.3 The Fan.
Oh, way to go. Way to go.
Jeez,
I think we need to clarify something here on Ben and Woods.
We do need to make a clarification.
Paulie, how did it sound as it went out over the airwaves?
And we've got Erik Greupner coming up at 8 o'clock facing criminal charges.
Ben, come on! God!
Erik Greupner is going to be coming up on our David P. Shapiro fan hotline facing criminal charges. Trust David P. Shapiro. If I did not include enough of a pause
pause,
that's on me. I'm
sorry.
Erik Greupner coming up at 8 o'clock facing criminal charges.
Well, okay, so now the first question I have to ask him is, would you like to speak on these charges that Ben apparently is fabricated?
What are you in for?
Yeah. What did you do?
It's not facing criminal charges, but
every single one. It'll happen, and he'll be like, coming up next, Darren Smith facing criminal charges. And I'm like, what did Darren
Coming
do?
up after that, the legendary head coach of the San Diego State Aztecs, Steve Fisher, facing criminal charges.
No chance. Steve Fisher, there is
What did
no.
he do?
What did he do?
What happened to Coach Fisher?
He's a sweet man.
I'll talk to Mikey Varis tomorrow, who's
Facing criminal charges.
Okay, not every guest on our program is facing criminal charges. Then we've got Erik Greupner coming up at 8 o'clock facing criminal charges.
He's not. He's not.
They're all on the David P. Shapiro fan hotline facing criminal charges.
God.
Trust David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys. Just hear the pause in there.
There
Even
was
if
none.
I don't do it,
There was none.
I was running out of time. I had to go quickly. We were running out of time at the end of the hour. I didn't have time for a big pause there. I had to get it all out and get us to the top of the hour break.
Unbelievable, man. Absolutely. Every show, every guest we have has facing
Yes,
criminal
they are.
charges, apparently.
Jesse Agler
Facing criminal charges? Mud Grant facing criminal charges? Come on. People were like, somebody tweeted, I think our buddy Bradley tweeted, breaking news. Now it's on Twitter. Breaking news. Erik Greupner facing criminal charges.
Erik Greupner's waking up going,
What
are those morons saying now?
say?
Got Erik Greupner coming up at 8 o'clock facing criminal charges.
It's so bad, dude.
You guys wanted to know why he's coming on. I'm going to ask the hard-hitting questions.
This sucks. Wow.
All right, let's finish up our discussion of Dave Roberts and the evil empire Dodgers, because I saw in our chat a couple of people going, "Hey, it's not the Dodgers ruining baseball. Everybody else should just be spending more to keep up with the Dodgers." There are a couple of teams, the Mets, the Yankees, that do spend a lot of money.
The Padres tried it.
And we're smacked down by Major League Baseball
Aaron
because
Judge.
they also have rules that you can't spend so much where you get into debt to the point where, they're worried about you. So they forced the Padres essentially after Peter Seidler passed away. They forced the Padres to reduce their payroll. And the Padres were like, you're out of debt compliance. We need you to reduce money. They did that before the 2024 season. We all remember. But they're operating under two different sets of rules. There's no salary cap, but for the Dodgers, it's okay. For the Mets, it's okay. For the Yankees, it's okay. For every other team, really, it's not okay, especially for the San Diego Padres. Major League Baseball says, no, if you tried to spend that much on your team, we would smack you down. And you can't do that.
Yeah,
you can't operate a league with different teams playing under different sets of economic rules.
And it's a whole, you have to look at it as the entire onion, right? I think I saw a lot of Dodger fans tweeting, every team could do this. And I think you could say a blanket statement, every team could spend more than they do.
It's not simply, though, I saw in the chat, you need owners with deeper pockets. Jeff Bezos could buy the Padres.
Right.
He would still be subjected to their revenues. You can't spend way more than you're making. You can't just go into debt. Just because you can write checks and
Billions.
you can afford it, there's still the debt. Your business is your business. And if you're not taking in enough revenues, you can't spend that much on your team, or you'll be out of the debt service compliance rules.
Well, if you're out of those rules, don't you just have to stroke a bigger check for luxury tax? Because the Dodgers' luxury tax was $350, right? Like
but they can afford it because they take in so much money with their local TV deal, their international money that they're getting that other teams don't get. So they can spend more because they make more.
So Jeff Bezos, literally.
I feel like if the owner has it regardless, then and wants
they won't
to
be as
spend it.
worried about it. But the Padres, all owners have a lot of money.
Couldn't Jeff Bezos be like, the team got a mysterious donation for $500 million from
I guess
Bezos.
that's probably why they wouldn't say that. But every other team, they're going to be concerned if they're spending an amount that is considered out of school. And that's the problem in my mind with Major League Baseball's economic model at the moment, that certain teams can't spend or not allowed to spend what other teams are allowed to spend.
This is a good point by Richard, and it may be simplistic, but because I don't know the inner workings or even the outer workings of the Premier League, but he said Ben would hate the English Premier League. They have no salary cap. It's true. Have and have not league. How's that league doing? They're doing quite well, is my guess, because you have that kind of free market ability to go out and spend as much as you want.
They also have how many? And Richard probably knows the league, but how many teams? Quite a few of them that spend insane amounts. Man U, Man City, Chelsea, Liverpool. They have a lot of halves at the top of the league. Now, there's also some teams that have no chance at the bottom that are just hoping not to be relegated every year. And it's almost like two different leagues. There's the league at the top, there's the league at the bottom. And they're playing together, and it's in the same league, and it is very popular. It's insanely popular. But it's not just one or two teams that are trying to win it every year. It's, 6 or 7 that are at the top that really do spend on the top talent. And then there's the ones that don't.
Well, and again, like
Arsenal, yes, Edgar. Sorry, Arsenal is one of the big clubs too.
But I think that you can look at it, and from the Dodger fan perspective, I totally get it. I would be beating the same drum. I mean, I would have the drum around my neck, beating it like, hey, don't be mad at us because we thought 5-6 years down the road, right? And they did. And when they got Shohei, again, there was a report out over the weekend from June Lee that said that Shohei has already paid for himself. And I mean
the whole thing.
All of it. The $700 million is bought and paid for in a year.
Merch.
A year. That's good business. And I commend them for that. That's brilliant business. Actually, Skip Schumacher told me when they signed him, he goes, this is a brilliant deal. And I disagreed. I said, no way you defer this much, blah, blah, blah. He goes, it will pay for itself with the inside of a year. It's done. They paid for Shohei Ohtani. He is gravy now for those guys, which is incredible. And what they've been able to do in Japan and all that. So it's now a destination. Guys want to come there, and they will pay. Nobody can outbid them. It is they are a true juggernaut.
We got 8 more years.
Yeah.
And it's already paid for.
It's paid for. So, I mean, that's just good business. And I'm actually jealous that we didn't do it.
Well,
they wouldn't have let us.
You could argue that the Padres are probably the second smartest team when it comes to, marketing in Asia with Yu Darvish. And they're one of the probably most popular teams behind the Dodgers.
How's that work for us?
Massively. They didn't miss the train. The Dodgers are the train.
Stole the train.
They stole the train. They are the train in Asia now. And the Padres did a pretty good job of, taking advantage of that. They've been in Korea, in Japan. They've been one of the more aggressive teams when it comes to marketing to fans in Asia, but no one can compete with the Los Angeles Dodgers and what they're doing.
Keeping It Real says, so why bother? And that's a really existential question. But the answer to that question is anything can happen in baseball. Yeah, they're going to have a week off, and they're going to have to take on the Toronto Blue Jays or the Seattle Mariners. I would like to see this. I would like to see them be tested once in the playoffs this year. That would be something. I don't think they will be necessarily. Maybe game 1, they've had a week off, but they'll be able to turn it on, and they're going to win another World Series back-to-back, and they're going to be set up really well for next season as well. And then with the impending lockout, I mean, expect them to go spend every bit of money that they can to go get even better players this year that they can load manage.
Why wouldn't
until October? Why wouldn't?
As you said, it's all gravy now with Shohei Ohtani.
It's
so they
all
have
gravy.
the money to do what they want. The Dodgers are 9-1 in the playoffs.
Crazy.
Or if you'd like to put it in a different way, they're 9-0 when Clayton Kershaw doesn't pitch.
Correct.
In the playoffs.
9-0.
So as long as they don't pitch Clayton Kershaw, they've been unbeatable in the postseason.
That's exactly right, which has been the story of that whole career.
Dave may try to wedge him into every game of the World Series, which could could give the Blue Jays or the Mariners a shot.
But it's hard for me to say they're ruining baseball. I don't like it. As a Padres fan, I don't like it. I don't like what they're doing, but you have to look at it and say, okay, well, I mean, they're not going to get called out for roster manipulation.
Let me
say
this, because I agree with your point to an extent. Baseball needs to show, though, that anything can happen, because if nothing happens and the Dodgers win, they're going to cruise and sweep.
You'll get Dodger
and then next
fatigue.
year, they cruise to win, and then they cruise again in the postseason, and baseball doesn't happen. You are going to get the fans that are asking the question, why bother? And that's my worry.
Want.
That's what Major League Baseball can't afford, keeping it real's question. You don't want fans going, why bother? You don't want teams going,
why bother?
Why bother?
I feel like a lot of teams already say, why bother?
Too many, honestly.
I saw that chart that came out over the weekend. Again, I think it's hard to know what exactly, but it was the payroll versus revenue. And there's all these numbers that came out. I think Padres were like 6th, 5th, something like we spend a good chunk of our revenue on payroll, which is what you want as a fan. Like, I'm willing to put the best team together, spend money, and let the chips fall where they may. They're beatable. They've been beaten before. Every team is beatable. They're just human beings at the end of the day. Things can go your way. That's why I bother as a baseball fan. I want to unseat the best. That is like the dream. To be the best, you have to beat the best. So I'm always going to watch. They're not going to lose me. We've talked about that before. But I don't know how accurate those numbers are. But if they are accurate, there's some teams that pull in such an egregious amount of money that they don't put in payroll. That's kind of what makes me sick. Those are the ones that you have to look at. Now, the funny part is, like the NBA, you're going to be like, we have all this money to spend. Just give Kyle Higashioka like $40 million for 2 years or a year or whatever, like just to spend money and not spend it wisely. Like, is that what we want? I think a cap and a floor is interesting just because it's never been done in baseball. I don't know that it's the end all be all. I don't. But if there's a way for everyone to get a bigger pie, I mean, even a Dodger fan would admit a $350 million a year TV deal that's insane. You could literally spend more just off your TV deal without selling a hot dog, a beer, a jersey, a ticket. $350 is absurd. How's that their fault, though? That's what they got.
We've heard what Rob Manfred has said in the past, that they're looking ahead to 2029 when every team's TV deal will have expired.
Is that the year? Is 29?
It is years 29 when every TV deal is up for at least renewal. And they're trying to get the big market teams like the Dodgers and the Yankees and the Mets on board with a nationalized, plan in which they would share local TV monies across the board around the league. That in many ways would fix baseball if they can get that done. And by the way, the Dodgers will still be major players if that happens because they have massive revenues beyond just their local TV. This would simply give other teams the ability to spend more on their rosters. It would make the teams that are doing it well and doing it right the ones that are able to compete every year, including, by the way, the Padres, who do great on their local revenues. Petco Park, we talked about this last week. Concessions, they do so many things right, but they have no TV deal. They have no prospect for a TV deal. There's no, I work in local media.
They're not out there.
There's no TV station that can afford to pay, hundreds of millions of dollars in rights fees for the Padres. It's just not happening. It doesn't exist. It's not because the Padres are failing in their business model. It's not because they're not good enough or competitive enough.
It's not there.
This market, small TV market, does not have that kind of money. So they can never do that. But if they ever...
I have a question.
Yeah.
I don't know how any of this stuff works. Okay. Do they have the option, the Padres, of ignoring over-the-air cable entirely or trying to work out a local deal so it's on channel 84 or whatever, but then going to Netflix or Apple TV or Amazon Prime if they were to say, we'll pay $200 million and we are the home of Padres baseball. It's unorthodox. I get it. It's streaming, but is that a possibility?
I don't think.
Or does it have to be a network cable?
I don't think Netflix or Apple would be interested in just the Padres.
Yeah, one team.
They want every team. Every market in America goes, well, if I want my team, I have to sign up for this.
Yeah,
that's what they're looking for in 2029. It doesn't piecemeal. They don't want to They don't want to sign a bunch of 30 different rights for 30 different teams. They want to, the group discount where they buy the whole league and then, they market it as such and not specifically to specific markets. So I don't think that's a possibility either. There wouldn't be the revenue. I mean, the reason you buy TV rights for sporting teams is to be able to sell the advertising, get people to watch, get to be your ratings are up because people are interested.
Same in radio.
Same in radio. And, the Padres being on our station helps drive interest. Absolutely. No doubt about that. If you ever listen
to the very beginning of the Padres game, like 5 minutes before the start, it's the billboard. It's Padres
how long is that?
baseball
Like 3 minutes
on the air.
It's brought to you
presented
by,
and it's like 90 seconds.
That's us trying to defray the costs of the radio rights deal because we sell a lot of advertising around it, which is great. It works for us, works for the fans because you get the games on radio here. You know where to listen to them. But in TV, we just don't have there's no way to make that up. I mean, we don't have the time slots like on Channel 10. We couldn't run. We have network programming.
Right.
We couldn't run Padres games every night. So there's just no outlets that exist for that to be sold in San Diego. So,
Dane says talk about this with Greupner. We did the last time we had Erik on, and he's the one that kind of told us, down the road, these are the things that are going to be happening as far as, one under one umbrella, down the road, like you mentioned, when every TV deal expires. I think it could ultimately be a good thing for the San Diego Padres, but it's going to be a minute. But in that time, the Dodgers will still be getting 350.
Yeah,
350,
and it's also going to require buy-in from the Players Association.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's something that I can just tell you right now. Erik Greupner is not allowed to talk about that. Rob Manfred has issued an edict to every team, CEO, owner, general manager. You cannot talk about the labor negotiations coming up.
Correct.
That is off limits. We can ask him. He would say
can't talk about
that because
we did ask him.
He said we can't talk about that. That is an edict that is across Major League Baseball. Probably smart by Rob Manfred. You don't want different teams with different narratives, muddling the story. You're trying to get everybody on the same page. It's going to be hard enough as it is without 17 different stories coming out with what this team's CEO said and this team's owner said. So you're not going to hear that here.
And the other thing is it's going to force, let's say that they take $1 billion and whack it up between 30 teams and that's your TV money. Is there any guarantee that Bob Nutting is going to go, great, now I'll spend some money? No, there's not, because it's kind of been proven that there are owners that want to spend, and then there are owners that want to do it on the cheap. How do you force an owner to spend money? The floor is one way to force them to spend money, but to get a floor, you're going to need a cap as well. And so, it's a bit of a conundrum for baseball fans out there.
All right, let's take a time out. When we come back, we can get to Don't Do This, including a do this story that tickled all of us.
We loved this one.
This weekend from college football. And then we can talk about SDFC and what they're facing now. We know their playoff schedule. We just don't know their playoff opponent yet. We'll talk a little soccer coming up this hour as well with Bennett Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Whatever sports you're watching, though, you can do it with Prize Picks, daily fantasy for everybody. It's where I set my daily lineups, and you can as well. Millions of users, and that was important to me. Like, I don't want to be on a fly-by-night daily fantasy. No, Prize Picks has been around for quite a while now. They've paid out billions of dollars in winnings, so they're well-backed. When I win, go to my account, I request my money. It comes through my Venmo. You can also do Apple Pay or MasterCard. Comes through quickly, easily, and safely. And you want to win, you want to make sure you get your money. They always do with Prize Picks, which is fantastic. It's fun and easy to play. You're just setting lineups between 2 and 6 players in whatever team or sport you're watching, whether it's baseball tonight, whether it's football tonight with 2 games. You can watch those and put your own lineups in, and then win real money with Prize Picks. When you download the app, though, make sure you use the code KWFN to get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. That's code KWFN to get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup at Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for details.
Okay, player. This is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Don't forget, we got Padres CEO Erik Greupner coming up at the top of the hour. First, though, it is time for Don't Do This. It is brought to you by Trust and Will.
Don't.
Leave your entire estate, house, kids, and life savings up to chance if and when you die.
Do.
Set up a Trust or Will online at trustandwill.com.
Peace.
It's a lot more affordable than you think. Visit trustorwill.com. Trustandwill.com for more info.
Trust or Will.
Trust or Will.
And Will.
I trust that Woods will start us out today on Don't Do This.
It's one of the single worst beats of all time, and I'm really glad that I do not gamble anymore because I have a friend
totally giving it up.
Yeah, 100%. Haven't had a place to bet it in months.
Good for you.
Months. Yeah, I don't miss it. And I play the game with myself where I'm like, what would I have bet? This is why I don't pick anymore, because I'd be broke because I'm not good at it. And I got a buddy texting me yesterday. He sent me his screenshot. He had a little easy parlay, Colts money line and Giants money line. Colts handled the Chargers.
Easy win over the Chargers.
$150 would have netted him $13.35. And he got the Giants money line plus 340. And he's like, this is incredible. The Giants are absolutely rolling. And then
19-0 over the Broncos after 3 quarters. The Broncos were in danger of being shut out at home for the first time ever. They've never been shut out at home. They're down 19-0 going into the final quarter, and the Giants rolled it up with 13 more points in the fourth quarter, finishing with 32 points.
Yeah, 33 points.
Well, no, the Giants cruised to 32 points.
Right.
So, 32-0. It's going to be an easy win, right?
Before Sunday, teams had lost 1,600 102 consecutive games when trailing by at least 18 points with 16 minutes to play. 1,602. Not anymore. Denver scored 33 points in the fourth quarter, most in franchise history, and beat the New York Football Giants at home.
It doesn't even seem possible.
It really doesn't. It marked the largest fourth quarter comeback for a team that had not scored in the first three quarters in NFL history. Bo Nix, the first player in NFL history to rush for 2 touchdowns and throw for 2 in the final quarter.
Crazy.
It's an unbelievably bad beat. An unbelievably bad beat. You can't even wrap your head around it.
It's tough because I saw some Giants fans who I follow going, this is like inexcusable. Like this is the kind of loss that you just have to get rid of your entire coaching staff.
Pretty much.
The tough thing is the Giants have a lot to be excited about.
They do.
With Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterbo, and there's some really good things about the Giants, but that was a horrifically bad way to lose a game.
33 points in the fourth quarter, man. That's a huge don't do this.
I'm just reading the box score is insane.
It's
insane.
One of the craziest box scores you'll see.
I mean, they scored with 14 minutes left.
The win probability graph, where it went up by midway through the fourth quarter, it was flatlining at
99.9%.
0.8% for the Giants. And then it started dropping precipitously until the Broncos were huge favorites. And then the Giants scored a touchdown to go back ahead, and they went way back up to like 98%. And the Broncos somehow got a field goal as time expired to win.
2 extra points missed by the Giants earlier in the game.
So gnarly. So gnarly. New York sports radio.
Crazy.
Must listen today. Must listen.
All right, I'll stay in the NFL for DDT number 2. Now, it's not a DDT for the Chiefs, who made it work, but for the Raiders and for Tony Romo, who was calling the Raiders-Chiefs game, for getting fooled so badly by the mediocre acting skills of one Patrick Mahomes, who was lining up, I believe it was 4th and 1 against the Raiders defense. And it looked like the old story where they're just trying to draw them off sides. If it doesn't work, we'll just go ahead and punt. You see that very often nowadays, but it never works. Defenses have gotten so disciplined that they don't jump off sides. You see it in college sometimes, but in the pros, they're too good. It doesn't work. And I don't know if you heard the audio, but they ended up pulling a little bit of a plot twist on the Las Vegas Raiders yesterday.
Well, they're going for it on their own 40 on 4th and a foot.
Tried to draw him offside.
Never works, man.
You're Patrick Mahomes.
Sorry. Mahomes says, Coach, it doesn't
there they go.
work. He was faking it.
Uh-oh.
There they go. You would give it up on that one. You thought for sure it was a draw, didn't you?
The Andy Reid.
Draw him offside.
Unbelievable. Pete Carroll even knows this.
He does the, man, this never works.
Tried to draw him offside.
Never works, man.
He says it out loud. Man, this never works, man.
Never effing works, man.
And next thing you know, they run the
Snap,
play.
they hand it off, and they gain about 2 yards for the first down.
Yeah, he had Romo fooled.
You got the Raiders
well.
defense let down just a second, going, yeah, they were trying to draw us off sides. They didn't. We win. You're going to have to punt to us. And then they snap it and hand it off and get the first down.
Pretty incredible. Pretty incredible. Well done, Patrick Mahomes. Let's do some do this.
DD mega doo-doo.
Man, one of our favorite guests of all time. He was on with Ben and Woods a ton back in the day when we were really forced to talk football by our old station. Here we have the ultimate freedom to talk about whatever we want, when we want. And I appreciate that very much about this place. But back then it was, got to talk football. And so we thought, well, let's get Chris Mortensen on because he's incredible and we love Mort. If you're going to have to do it, talk it with Mort.
Who better than the Mort?
And he became a really good friend of our show. And he passed away a couple of years ago. And this story over the weekend just warmed my heart. And I had not heard about this. But his son, Alex was named the interim head coach of UAB, University of Alabama, Birmingham. And they had Trent Dilfer as their head coach. They fired him. And so in the interim,
is it crazy that I never knew that Trent Dilfer was coaching in college football until he was fired?
I had no idea.
Until the day he was fired, I had no idea Trent Dilfer was coaching at UAB.
Same, none. I had no earthly idea. And they tabbed Alex Mortensen to come in and, just take the reins. 40 years old, I believe, and comes in his head coaching debut. He led UAB to an upset of number 22 Memphis. And they were talking to him after the game. And, of course, everyone around football is like, it broke my heart and also made my heart smile. They're like, Mort would have absolutely loved this more than anything in the world, because as much as he loved football, he loved his children, his son Alex. And it just was a really heartwarming and sweet moment that I wanted to give it its due today. Cool thing. Just a really, really cool thing.
Here's what Adam Schefter was asked about it on Sunday after the fact on their studio show.
That was emotional. And Alex was not particularly thrilled with the idea that he was being mentioned and he was making his head coaching debut. He called yesterday morning and said, hey, look, we're not winning. My friend Trent Dilfer lost his job. This is not a happy time. Don't want any of this attention. He called again this morning after I let him know that we would be highlighting this on the show. And he said, if I had a vote, you wouldn't be talking about this today on Sunday Countdown. I said, guess what? You've been outvoted because his team yesterday beat an unbeaten 22nd ranked team in which they were 23-point underdogs. And it was only fitting that his head coaching debut would come on ESPN2. How UAB wound up on ESPN2 yesterday, I do not know. But his second game is in Connecticut against UConn, where ESPN is located. Very strange how these things happen. But I know Mickey Mortensen, Mort's wife, texted last night, happy tears, Alex thrilled. And I can't tell you how excited and moved and touched everybody at the network is for Alex Mortensen to win that game. And his father would have loved it.
Loved it.
It's been a pretty good year so far for interim head coaches.
Yeah.
Tim Skipper, the UCLA interim head coach, has won, I think, 3 straight since taking over the job. I don't think Penn State's interim coach won. They lost last week again. But now other coaches are trying. Florida fired Billy Napier.
Yep.
Colorado State fired Jay Norvell yesterday. So a lot of interim head coaches getting a chance in college football right now.
Yeah, great story.
And that is Don't and Do This for a Monday.
That was Don't Do This with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
Now, I want to give SDFC their due. So with Erik Greupner coming up at the top of the hour, let's talk a little soccer. When we come back, what is the playoff schedule look like for your team? Going to the playoffs in their very first season as a number 1 seed. Incredible story. We'll get to that coming up next year with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. GEGE 000-466. For a full list of games and rules, play at 7 Mile Casino. Visit 7milecasino.com.
First chance this week for us to talk about our card room. It's 7 Mile Casino, so easy to get to. You just hop on the 5 freeway, head south toward Chula Vista, get off at E Street. That'll put you right on Bay Boulevard, which is the frontage road on the 5. On the west side of Bay Boulevard, within about a quarter of a mile, you're pulling right into their parking lot, walking in, and then, Woods, what do you see right in front of you?
Boom, right in front of you. California-style blackjack table. Layout's still the same. I haven't been in a minute, Benny.
The same. I was there last week.
And they got the Texas Hold'em room off to the right. They got the Pai Gow and the Baccarat kind of behind it. And then in the bar area, you go walk up a couple little stairs, bar area, beautiful restaurant, and a great patio to overlook the bay. We've had some incredible weather lately. So, yeah, just a good place to go hang, smoke-free environment. Check it out for yourselves. It's so close, just 7 minutes from downtown.
Makes no sense to drive way into the East County for the other card rooms. They're fine, but you got to walk through the giant casinos with all the slot machines. A lot of them have smoke in there. Big parking garages. You remember where you parked. When you've got 7 Mile Casino available to you so close with the great food at Sammy's, the great patio, the bar area, and it's all there for you. Check it out this week. Give it a try one of the days. If you got the day off, head on down to 7 Mile Casino, just 7 minutes from downtown.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? This spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
We got a postseason coming up here in San Diego. The MLS playoffs begin this coming weekend. And we've got some details for you on what SDFC is looking at. Others have yet to be determined. But one thing is clear, Woods. The win on Saturday night, 4-0 over the Portland Timbers.
4-0.
4-0.
Thank you.
And Vancouver's loss has set SDFC up in the best possible way going forward in the playoffs. And I'll explain kind of how they improved their lot and their situation. We'll do so after a quick check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
This game day traffic report is brought to you by Crystal Geyser, Alpine Spring Water. Definitely getting busier on the roads, guys. Tow truck rolling up to help out with this crash on North 805 right before the 54. The right lane is blocked. Also still clearing an exit from the Miramar Road on-ramp to southbound 805. Southbound 67, you got a couple of problems here. One is a crash involving car and a motorcycle at Winter Gardens. It's over the right shoulder. Up ahead, Riverford Road, exit another collision over to the right shoulder. And going to find in the North County, eastbound 78, past Civic Center, collision in the center divide. What makes Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water different? They always bottle their Alpine Spring Water less than 1.5 miles from the spring source. And all of their bottles are made with 50% recycled plastic from their own recycling plants. Crystal Geyser, bottled at the spring source. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
So by winning and clinching the #1 seed in the Western Conference in the MLS playoffs, SDFC gets to play their first round game against the winner of the 8-9 wild card matchup. And they're the only team that gets to do this. The 2 versus 7, 3 versus 6, 4 versus 5 matchups are all set. So they'll spend this entire week preparing for their opponent. San Diego's opponent, they have to play a game on Wednesday. It's Portland against Real Salt Lake, the 8 versus 9 matchup in Portland. And then the winner has to immediately fly down to San Diego after their win and play on Sunday at 6:30 at Snapdragon Stadium. So they'll have a couple of days to prepare.
Wednesday is
just a one-off wild card game.
Then it's a best of 3.
And then SDFC will host Sunday. They will play on the road the following Saturday, either in Portland or Salt Lake in Game 2. And then, if necessary, Game 3 would be back the following Sunday here in San Diego. So you got home field advantage. You get to face a weakened, tired opponent who had to play on a Wednesday and had less prep time to get ready for you. It really gives you the best chance of any team to move forward into the quarterfinal round of the MLS playoffs.
And the quarterfinals are won.
So after the first 3, and Tom Penn explained this to me last week when I talked to him, after the best of 3, there's a 2-week international break. So it's going to be a little while. And then next month, then it's just 3 rounds left. The quarterfinals, the conference finals, and then the MLS Cup championship game. And those are all just one-off games. SDFC would play every game at home until the MLS Cup final.
It's so wild to me. It's so wild that, the longer you go in the playoffs, the fewer games you play. Imagine right now the Dodgers take on the baseball. Imagine the Dodgers take on the Blue Jays. Winner take all one game.
It's like the wild card series is best of 7, and then the division series is best of 5, and now we get to the championship is best of 3, game. And then the World Series is like the Super Bowl. We just play one game and it's all over.
It's pretty amazing.
So it also puts the SDFC on the opposite side of the bracket of the other to there's three powerhouse teams in the West: San Diego, Vancouver, and LAFC. Now, if everybody, wins and goes to form, LAFC and Vancouver will have to meet in that quarterfinal game. SDFC wouldn't have to face either one of them until the Western Conference Championship game, like in a month and a half. So puts them on a more advantageous side of the bracket, gives them home field advantage, and gives them a chance to face a weakened opponent in the first round.
We have a caller, and I have two children. One's 7, one's 4. Hector, our buddy, is as annoying as my two children when they want something from me. Dad. Now, Hector, Hector knows I love him. Hector, I'm going to put you on the radio. You're not allowed to talk about the Dodgers at all. I know you wanted to talk some SDFC. I'm going to give you your shot. Please welcome to the Ben and Woods, what is it?
David P. Shapiro fan hotline.
Now,
facing criminal charges,
Hector facing criminal charges. Hello. I'm going to give you your opportunity, buddy. I know you wanted to talk some SDFC. I know you're fired up.
Yeah, guys. Perfect timing, by the way. I do not need a lawyer right now, but thanks for the shout out.
You never know.
In terms of SDFC, I might be the minority on this, but I do not want to face Portland. I've been in the League of MX my whole life. I just got into MLS because of SDFC. But after you beat a team so historically horribly at their home place in front of their home fans, they're going to take it personal, dude. I'm not saying they're going to beat SDFC. Obviously, SDFC is going to be the huge favorite at Snapdragons. But in terms of your coach and the father and all the energy that they're going to have negatively to bring onto this game and change your system, change your tactics, I'm the minority. A lot of people are saying take out Portland again. I don't know what you guys think, but in terms of psychology, I think they could use that against us. What do you guys think?
To take Salt Lake instead, you're pulling for Salt Lake to win that game because of the demoralizing way that you just dismantled Portland at home. There's something to it. There's definitely something to it. I don't know. I mean, look, sports psychology is something. I mean, the Brewers had to feel pretty good. Hey, we beat these guys 6 times in a row this year. We know how that worked out. They batted 110 or something the entire.
You can spin it however you want.
You can spin it however you want.
Portland, you're like, hey, they just beat our brains and we've seen them now. We're ready.
We know what they're going to do.
That is not happening again. If you're SDFC, you're like, guys, come on.
Yeah.
Like, we've seen everything that they had to throw at us. We took care of business. Let's do one more here.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I don't know that I don't know that that's enough to make me nervous about facing them. They're a good team, but you get three cracks at them.
And you beat him without Chicky Lozano, who didn't play this last weekend. Anders Dreyer has been fantastic. Don't know. There was weird personal reasons. Yeah, I'm not. Hopefully, nothing that's going to keep him out of the postseason. But I want
San Diego sports icon.
I want to give credit to Darren Smith and our buddy Craig Elston, who's going to be with us at 8:35. Craig Elston facing criminal charges on our David P. Shapiro fan hotline. He said Amal Pellegrino was the key. Remember that? He was like Amal Pellegrino. He's the new player they got from San Jose. Amal Pellegrino has been huge the last couple of weeks and scored twice on Saturday in the win in Portland. He's kind of finally been that replacement that they've been looking for all season long for the offense that's been missing, other than Anders Dreyer, who, by the way, finished with a record number of goals and assists on the road for any player in MLS history.
Crazy
this year. I think I trust Mikey Varas. He knows that the tactics will probably change, that Portland is not just going to do the same things that didn't work in that game. Mikey Varas will be ready.
Yeah,
we will talk to him about it tomorrow. We'll ask him about his thoughts on both the opponents, the potential opponents in the first round, Portland or Salt Lake. I can almost guarantee you that he's going to say, we don't care who we're going to play. We're just going to get ready for whatever team's in front of us and take it one day at a time. He'll say, hey, the most important thing to me right now, I know Mikey well enough at this point. When he is on with us tomorrow, he's going to say the most important thing to me right now is this interview, because the man does not look past the next 10 minutes. Every minute of his day is spent focusing on what he is doing at that moment. And that is what Mikey Varas has done to make SDFC successful.
How'd that locker room smell the other night? Pretty good. I was watching the baseball game, and Bo and I had the soccer game on my phone. I mean, and it was really poor Did you say you watched some of the game? It didn't look good. It was not aesthetically good. I don't know what happened that night, but it looked very grainy and like I was watching a college soccer match.
Might have been your feed.
You think? Mine looked terrible. It was on my phone, but it looked terrible.
I looked like fairly normal.
Did it? It did not look normal to me. And I know the weather was poor.
Well,
whatever,
the weather was off.
It looked. I was like, why are they so far away? It looked.
Camera shots, different camera wells and locations, maybe. I don't know.
But it was a drubbing. I mean, just a complete and total drubbing.
Here was the quote that I saw on Saturday night after their win. He was Coach Varis was asked about Chucky Lozano. He didn't make the trip. Why didn't he play? And I thought this was definitely interesting.
And then the second one, Chucky didn't come on this trip. It doesn't look like didn't play. What's his update?
Yeah, we had a situation that we're dealing with internally, and we'll take it week by week.
Ooh. Late for a meeting, perhaps.
That's a bit.
Had his AirPods
That's a bit
in.
spicy.
He had his AirPods in a meeting, like Juan Soto.
That was a real storyline.
That was a real storyline. We don't like him. He had his AirPods in me. He didn't want to give much weight to what Michael Berdar had to say about him hitting. So he had his AirPods in instead. My response to that was good. Good. Michael Berdar is only going to hurt Juan Soto's ability to hit a base. Give AirPods to the other hitters too, and have them tune in to whatever Juan Soto's listening to. That was my stance on it. Oh, you got your AirPods in? That's fine.
Other than that, mysteries surrounding Chucky Lozano. Life is good.
Yeah.
For SDFC, and they will play Sunday night at 6:30. They're going to give out free scarves to the first 25,000 fans at Snapdragon Stadium as they play their first home playoff game in franchise history to open the postseason.
I'm going to ask Mikey Varis, wouldn't you rather be playing on the road?
They've been awfully good on the road.
So good on the road.
Also, congratulations to the Wave. 6-1 win to clinch a playoff spot.
That's
so
amazing.
They're in as well.
Quite a turnaround for them.
Yeah, they could even clinch a home playoff game with a win in their last game. Now, they're on the road against by far the best team. Kansas City's only lost twice all year, so a tough challenge, but they could actually earn a home game if they get a win in their finale as well. So we'll talk with Craig Elston about more soccer stuff coming up at 8:35. But in our next segment, we'll be joined by Padres CEO Erik Greupner. And just wanted to kind of review the timeline here. On Friday morning, we're sitting here getting ready to do, last show of the week. Story on The Athletic drops that, talks about AJ Preller's future with the team, and then has some comments about, unsourced comments about Erik Greupner and AJ Preller not being on the same page, not getting along, in the front office, maybe some drama going on behind the scenes. We talked to Erik Greupner and said, hey, would you like to come on our program? Initially, he kind of said, I don't think so. I don't want to give it more air. But then he later messaged us back and said, I actually will accept your invitation to come on the program. How's Monday at 8 a.m. work? And we said, that works for us.
Sorry, Erik, that's our reset time. Is there another time that works better for you?
But
I had a great story to tell. I'll push it now.
We can make 8 o'clock work.
Yeah.
So Erik Greupner will join us in our
we
next
have to
segment.
ask him too about, Mike Schilt retiring abruptly, things like that. So yeah, for sure. And I want to ask him, what do you think about this?
Ask him about John Seidler's comments, his letter to the fans, that things were disappointing and that there was going to be a review. How's that process going? We will discuss all of those topics with the CEO of the San Diego Padres when we kick off the second half of Ben and Woods. Coming up next on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
right, we are halfway home on a Monday. Ben and Woods, 97.3 The Fan. Great to be here with you. I'm Woodsy. That's Paul Reindl, executive producer, and Ben Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor, joins us as well. It's not dilly-dally, gentlemen. Let's get right to it.
Yeah, big way to start our week on a Monday. Joining us right now on the David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline, the CEO of the San Diego Padres, Erik Greupner. I will wait until the end.
Okay, wait till the end
to read the
other part.
To read the other part of that liner. Erik, good morning to you.
Good morning, guys. How are you doing today?
We're doing good. We're doing good. Obviously, a lot of topics Padres fans curious about. So why don't we just start at the very beginning? We're a couple of weeks now since the end of the season. Tough loss to the Cubs, obviously, there in Game 3 of the Wild Card Series. How's the offseason going so far, and what was your reaction, obviously, to Mike Shilt's retirement? Caught us off guard.
So the end of the season, if you don't have a parade, is always a really difficult transition. It's kind of a taste you got to get out of your mouth, and not easy. It's hard to watch baseball for a week or so after the season ends, but I've slowly gotten back into watching the postseason. So it was tough. It was a tough adjustment. I think for 2 years in a row now, we felt like we've had a team with a level of talent and experience it's commensurate with the championship caliber team, and we just haven't been able to get it done in the postseason, and that's tough. But you can pretty quickly turn your focus to what it's going to take to get better and change the outcome next year and break through and win a championship, and that's really the focus of the off season. It's less nights and weekends at the ballpark, which is nice, but just as much effort and work. And, it begins with our evaluation of where we need to get better to win a championship. And we're in the process of doing that right now. And, and you asked about Mike. I think, to start the off season with his decision to retire as a manager, had to be a focus for us for the last week or so. And we certainly wish Mike the best, but now we need to hire the best manager who we believe can lead us to a World Series championship in 2026.
And has that process begun, interviewing candidates? I know AJ talked about going to be a thorough process. Where are you standing in the hiring of a new manager?
Yeah, that process has begun. We spent the last week identifying both internal and external candidates, and we'll begin the interview process this week, in fact, beginning today. And that'll be a multi-week process as we narrow down the candidates and eventually select a manager. So, that process is underway. It's going to be a very important hire for us, and a really important position that we need to fill to put together that, beyond just the roster, the championship caliber team that we need to have in 26.
That's weird because my phone hasn't rung yet, so I'll check my spam or anything like that. But I'm free. Actually, I'm not free this afternoon. Maybe tomorrow. Talking to Erik Greupner, Padres CEO. I'm Ben and Woods, and obviously the reason that we wanted to reach out over the weekend was because I wanted to give you a chance to respond to the article that dropped in The Athletic and about, potential infighting between you and AJ Preller, and just kind of wanted to give you a chance to expand on that or to kind of share your thoughts on that.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that opportunity and happy to discuss that topic. The Athletic had reached out to both AJ and I, and obviously AJ went on the record, and I declined to talk about it, and in part because I told the Athletic at the time that it's not true. AJ went on the record and also said it's not true. We've worked together for over a decade, AJ and I. We've always had and continue to have a great working relationship. We respect each other, and without the contributions that each of us have made, we would not have been able to have accomplished some of the great things that we've accomplished as an organization, really in particular over the last 5 years. And so our ability to work together in the working relationship we have and what each of us brings to the table, I think is a continuing key to our success. And so AJ, shared that with the Athletic. I think it was included in the article. I'm saying it to you today. It's just not true. There's only two people who are qualified to speak on this topic, and you've now heard from both of us. We work well together, and we're aligned in our singular goal of winning a World Series championship, and that's not going to change. So it's really, much ado about nothing from my perspective, but I appreciate the opportunity to talk about it and, just correct whatever misconceptions there might be out there. with regard to your candidacy, Woodsy, I would just say, we've always understood you as a package deal, as a player manager, a la Pete Rose.
Correct.
I'm just not sure we're quite ready for that yet.
Well,
but we'll
listen,
see.
sometimes it makes more sense in my head, Erik. But no, I mean, you talk about the continuity that you and AJ Preller share, and I think one of the things that was highlighted in the article was a potential extension for AJ Preller, and I know he talked about it on his press conference. Kind of what could you speak to about the ability or the maybe the plans of that happening and you and AJ continuing to work together?
Yeah, so shortly after the season ended, our chairman, John Seidler, sent out a letter to our fans and, said a couple of key things. Number one, just reiterated that our plan going into the off season and in 2026 is to continue to do everything we can to pursue a World Series championship. But that, as we saw in the postseason this year for a second year in a row, there were areas of deficiency where we need to get better. And the only way we're going to get better is if we, go through an exhaustive process this offseason of taking a look at all the different areas of the organization with a particular eye towards how we can improve some of the areas where we need to get better to win a championship. So that evaluation process has started now. As Ben mentioned, we're only 2 weeks into the off season, but it started and it's going in earnest. And part of that review process, is going to now be looking for a new manager, which we didn't necessarily anticipate coming into the off season. But it's also going to involve and is already in process involving a review of AJ and a contract extension. So, that's already started. John's taking the lead on that discussion with AJ, and it's always been the plan that the discussions around an extension for AJ would take place beginning in the off season, as part of our review and evaluation. And so those discussions have begun, and, we're optimistic that AJ will be our president of baseball operations past 2026.
Excellent.
What's that process like? You talk about an organizational review. I mean, because I would imagine it's, as frustrated, as disappointed as you guys are. You can't base it all on one 3-game series against the Cubs. But again, the goal is to win a World Series. So you do have to, take playoff performance into consideration. The last 2 regular seasons, have been really good. A record number of wins over 2 seasons, 183. I don't think anyone's discounting that. But how do you plan for October when it's only, still October of the previous year?
Yeah, I think you have to begin with a thorough review of last year's team and where we had strengths, where we had areas of weakness or deficiency. And I think that's the thing about the sport of baseball is it's not particularly hard to figure that out because you have such a large data set or sample size of 162 regular season games, and then hopefully, as many postseason games as possible. And so it's, there's really not much mystery around where we need to get better. I think we continue to pitch the ball really well, especially despite some of the injuries that we had to the starting rotation. And I think that continued to be a strength of the team. We defended well. And offensively, there were games and stretches where, we strung together the type of consistent at-bats that has been a hallmark of our offense over the last couple of seasons. But, we were lacking in slug. We were lacking in the ability to score runners when they were in scoring position. And, I think we've found for a couple of postseasons in a row now that, our offense just wasn't at the level that it needed to be at to play championship level baseball. So that's a key area of focus for us. And it's going to be a key area of focus for our new manager once we hire him. And so that's really where it starts. And there's so many other parts of the organization, so many other areas where every year we relentlessly pursue improvement, whether it's the ballpark experience for our fans, who are amazing, by the way, and, cannot say enough about the support that they've given us over these last 5 years. I mean, these last 5 years, we've been, with the exception of 1 year out of those 5, we've been in top 3 in attendance in Major League Baseball. We finished number 2 this past season, and all the credit and gratitude goes to our fans for that. And every year we've got to elevate their experience. That's our goal. We want them to come to the ballpark and experience something new, something that they haven't seen before at the ballpark to keep it fresh and new, but also continue to deliver the same high level of guest experience, in-game experience, keep the area around the ballpark clean and safe and welcoming to our fans. And then we do a lot in the off season, which we'll talk about in a minute, but all that is key as well, because that helps support the highest level of payroll that we can possibly have in this market, which is a key component to having a championship team. So everything we do as an organization under AJ's leadership, my leadership, it's all with a focus of winning the championship. There's a lot of different pieces to that puzzle. And every year we've got to try to get better in each and every area of how we operate this franchise. And that's what it's going to take to win a championship.
Talking to Erik Greupner, Padres CEO, and Ben and Woods. And, you mentioned payroll. It's always the reductive statement by a radio host or two that, like, you got to spend. And I'm as guilty as charged, right? Because you look around the playoffs and teams that spend typically the last few years are the teams that, you're talking about. You need to add slug. There's guys out there. They're going to cost money. What's your sense of, I'm not asking you a hard, fast number here on what you're going to spend, but do you foresee Padres payroll increasing next season to try to add some of that slug potentially?
Yeah, I think you can add slug. You can also get more slug out of the players you have on the roster. Yep. So I just want to clarify that.
100%.
I think it's certainly a combination, and we're going to need to ultimately do both. So part of that evaluation process, and we're going through it right now, is budgeting for next year, taking a look at where we expect both expenses and revenue to be at for 2026. But I can, once again, say something that I've said, over the years for a while now, which is every resource that we have, every dollar that we generate above what, obviously the expenses of operating the team in the ballpark, all of that's going to go into fielding the most competitive team we can, which means we're going to take payroll as high as we possibly can take it. We were a top 10 payroll this last year, and we've been a little bit higher than that in a couple of the prior years. We've consistently been in the top 10 payroll in baseball, and we believe that if we can continue to stay in that top, tertile or top 10 of payroll in Major League Baseball, that with the skills that AJ and his team bring to bear and the players that we have under contract and have committed to that form the core of this team, we have everything that we need to win a World Series championship. And so we're going to, now that's not to say that we would settle at a lower payroll than we were capable of supporting. Everything we have is going to go into it. And our fans and their continued support of this team, the way that they've shown up, has allowed us to continue to maintain a payroll in the top 10 in baseball. And that's not historically been the case for this franchise, sure, both in terms of attendance and in terms of payroll. And so, we're going to continue to do the same thing we've been doing for years now, which is try to put the most competitive team we can on the field with the goal of winning a World Series championship. We've made that commitment to the fans. We've continued to make good on that commitment. Would we love to have a top payroll in baseball? Sure. I know the fans would love for us to be the number one payroll in baseball. I would love that. The reality is we're going to continue to try to be as high as we can be on payroll, and that's a product of the support we've received from the fans, and we're going to continue to put every resource back into this team.
I, for one, loved that you used the word tertile there.
I've never heard
amazing.
it, but I'm writing it down.
As a way to say top third. A tertile, it's not an animal with a shell.
Tertile.
It means top third.
I like that.
In all of baseball. Now, one of the things you mentioned, revenue, you put that revenue back into the team. One way the team adds revenue is by using Petco Park in the offseason. Used to be back when Petco Park first opened, there wasn't much going on. Padres keep that place busy. I know the links at Petco Park are back. I saw some fans out there this weekend having a great time. What's coming up? I know you wanted to mention it at Petco Park here this offseason, some of the events you guys have planned.
Yeah, I wanted to chat a little bit about that just to make sure everybody understands the opportunities to come back down to the ballpark during the offseason and enjoy this beautiful ballpark that we have. But also, I don't want to skip over a point that you made, because I think it's really important, and I want to make sure the fans hear this. Everything that we do in activating the ballpark, both during the season and in the off season, outside of just the 81 baseball games that we play, once again, is all done in the name of trying to make good on a promise that was made during Prop C in 1998 when the voters here in San Diego approved public funding to partially, fund the cost of the construction of Petco Park. The promise that was made is that this was going to be more than a ballpark, that the value proposition for San Diegans was going to be more than just 81 home baseball games. And we take that seriously. We've not forgotten that promise. 27 years later, we continue to try to live that out in the way that we activate the ballpark. But secondly, and I think most importantly, everything that we do. So when our fans come to a concert here, when they come to the rodeo, when they come play the Lynx or WWE or some of the other things that we're about to talk about, that is all revenue that turns around and goes back into Major League payroll. So what we do, we don't operate our events business or non-baseball events at the ballpark as some separate business that, stands on its own. It's all in service of, that payroll goal that we talked about, that championship caliber goal that we talk about. So it's a really important piece to the puzzle, because as we've grown that business and as we've continued to improve Petco Park so that it can host more events and events that generate more revenue, that's all part of the puzzle of making us a championship caliber team year in and year out. So with that, I would encourage fans to please come down anytime you can. If you are a Padres fan, you can come to an event at Petco Park and enjoy it. We'd love to have you here. And what you're doing is, in fact, additive to our goals of trying to win a championship. So, yeah, the Lynx is going on right now. We were the first Major League ballpark and team to turn the ballpark into a 9-hole par 3 golf course. So we do that this year. It's the 11th time we've done it, and tee times. And the event started on Saturday and are going to run through next Sunday, October 26th. This year is a Halloween-style haunted golf trail here, so you can have a lot of fun, even if you're not a hardcore golfer, even if you're just you barely picked up a club. It's still a great experience to come out and have fun. And you can book a foursome. We still have some limited times available at padres.com/the Lynx. And then after the Lynx is done, we'll have Dia de los Deftones, which has become just an amazing event
My
here.
favorite.
We celebrate Dia de los Muertos. I know Woodsy's a big fan, and that's going to be on November 1st, and it's an amazing music festival here, headlined by by Deftones. And we have an ofrenda where fans can come and place photos of their loved ones, which has become a really popular destination during the event. And then 2 stages with 8 different music acts, headlined, as I mentioned, by the Deftones. And then we have the WWE coming here in November, on November 29th, which is a Saturday after Thanksgiving. Will be the first baseball stadium to ever host the Survivor Series. So Survivor Series War Games, and it's WWE's first premium event in San Diego since 2008. So it's been a bit since we've had WWE here.
Now,
And
do
then
we
the month
reach
of
out to
December-
you or
Yeah.
WWE about getting Ben in the ring for that? Because Ben doesn't think it's real.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know what? I think we could come up with a cool
no.
bit.
That could
where
be a
he
great
like
bit.
the ring announcer,
Something.
and then tear off his shirt.
Yes.
And just, go animal style. Just get into the match.
I'm so into it.
I'm so nervous about this whole thing.
I'm leaving
honestly.
Ben's birthday party early for Dia de los
What birthday
Deftones.
party?
That's how much
I don't know about the
love
birthday
Dia.
party.
Well, add all these up together.
Holiday Wonderland. Don't forget about that.
You go to all this stuff. You never know.
Holiday Wonderland month of December. Come out, with your family or friends. It's a great way to celebrate the holidays. And then we have Mumford & Sons coming to perform a concert at the Wild Horses Festival on December 27th. And then our 3rd annual San Diego Rodeo is going to be coming in early January. So tickets for all of that, you can go to padres.com/events or padres.com/concerts and find all the information you need on buying a ticket to attend those various events, and come support the Padres even in the off season. Come support the goal of winning a championship. And, can't say enough about our amazing fans and all the support that they've given us.
That was very thorough, Eric. We really appreciate it. Before you go, the one question Woods is afraid to ask: can you promise the banana pudding will be back next season?
Don't.
And did you hear our suggestion of cobbler? Perhaps a helmet of cobbler or a Western metal trough of cobbler
Since
for
we
next season.
cobbled together so many wins in the regular season.
A cobbler trough. I had not heard that.
Well, there you go. Another
That's
freebie
an
from Ben
interesting idea.
Woods. Another
Yeah,
freebie
we'll-
from
we'll-
us.
we'll put it into R&D this offseason.
All right,
nice.
Take a look at it.
Nice.
Yeah, the banana pudding will in fact be back, and it could become an annual birthday celebration for Woodsy
trough.
to give him the full-size batting helmet.
The last thing I need, but I want it so bad. Thanks so much.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Erik.
it.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
There he is, Erik Greupner, CEO of the San Diego Padres, facing criminal charges. Trust David P. Shapiro criminal defense attorneys, helping clients regain control since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Lots to react to. We got to take a quick time out. We will come back. Craig Elston's going to join us at the bottom of the hour as well. So plenty
Probably
to get to.
skip and take on.
Yeah,
Woods.
we're going to push it back to the 9 o'clock hour today. We don't have time for it in this next segment, but we will try to get back on clock, reset everything, talk about what you just heard from Erik Greupner coming up next year with Ben Woods on 97.3 The Fan. Speaking of banana pudding and cobbler, if you've had a little too much in the past, you need to lose some weight. SDFatLoss.com is the way to go. I lost 40 pounds in 60 days on the SDFatLoss.com program a couple of summers ago. And what's so amazing for me about SDFatLoss.com, it's the first program I've ever done where I've actually been able to keep the weight off long term. More than 2 years now. You can find out how to lose up to 10 to 20% of your body weight, up to a pound of fat per day before the year is over by going and getting your free consultation at sdfatloss.com. And when you sign up for the program before October 31st, take $200 off during their fall special right now. It's all based on real foods from the grocery store. You don't buy shakes, you don't buy bars from them, you don't buy meals from them. You just make your own food like you already are. They're just helping you with the portions and what to eat, when to eat it, and that will help you lose the weight fast, change your metabolism. There's no injections, nothing with weird side effects. You're not taking any weird supplements or anything like that. It's a real sustainable program that I've done, my colleagues have done, tier ones have done, and had so much success losing thousands of pounds in San Diego. You could be next by going to sdfatloss.com. That's sdfatloss.com. Results may vary.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
All right, thanks again to Padres CEO Erik Greupner. A couple of takeaways from the interview. He said that managerial interviews will begin today, I believe, and we just got a report from Kevin Acee in the Union Tribune that one of the interviews for Padres manager will be Albert Pujols. Doesn't know when that will take place, but he says the Padres will be interviewing Albert Pujols for their open managerial position. That would be an interesting candidate, obviously. Huge name. Limited managerial experience. He has managed in the Dominican Winter League, won a championship actually in the Dominican Winter League in the Caribbean Series last year. But a guy that would resonate in the clubhouse in terms of what he's accomplished in his career, a guy who's known for having done it the right way his entire baseball career, would be a legendary Hall of Famer.
Would be very, very fascinating hire. A very, very fascinating hire indeed. You saw the news out of San Francisco this weekend that we haven't gotten to yet. And I don't know how much merit there is to it. But for me, all right, let me ask you this question. You saw the news that Tennessee head coach Tony Vitello is being tabbed by Buster Posey to be the next skipper of the San Francisco Giants. Certainly an interesting name, right? An interesting guy. Very, very high energy coach. And I mean, very. Drew Gilbert was one of his guys, the Giants lunatic that wants to be choked out after big hits and whatnot. But he's a very high energy guy. But he's obviously very young, doesn't have big league experience, certainly never managed at the big leagues. Both would be first-time managers. Why does this one feel different? Why would this one make me more comfortable in Albert Pujols than Tony Vitello would?
I mean, I would be terrified if Tony Vitello was going to take over. Now, it doesn't mean he won't be successful, but I worry that it's too much for professional baseball players, that high-energy college coaching style. Now, Pat Murphy was a very successful college coach and has transitioned to become a manager of the year, successful pro manager. So it's not impossible, but it's certainly – you feel like Albert Pujols comes in and doesn't have to prove himself the way Tony Vitello would have to prove himself to big league players.
Immediately, right? Yeah. Like, okay, so, but play it forward. Oh, we got to go to break. God damn.
We do.
All right,
the other big takeaway, of course, Erik Greupner saying that the hope is that A.J. Preller remains general manager well beyond the year 2026, in which he's contractually linked to the Padres. Doesn't mean that, extension is happening, but certainly sounds like that conversations will be happening and continuing to progress, but we'll continue to follow that story, obviously.
So this is what I want to talk about with Pujols, and we can tease it coming up next. So Eric K in the chat says, Pujols would get rid of the diva attitudes for sure. Assuming that there are diva attitudes, which I really don't subscribe to. I don't subscribe to them. My question is, will he? Will he? Does he walk in and immediately say, you need to clean it up and you need to do better, right? Like, he was a big leaguer. He knows how this operates. Would it be detrimental to have a guy like Albert Pujols? I'm just asking the question. I don't know. I don't know the answer. I don't know his personality. But I don't know that it's some guarantee that he walks in and the clubhouse just everyone falls into line if they're out of line already.
I just think it's weird to operate under the premise that there's anything wrong with the Padres clubhouse.
Just because they're not hitting
183 games the last 2 years.
Just because they don't hit in October.
We've seen bad clubhouses that last 2 years have been good clubhouses.
Correct.
You don't want anything to change in the clubhouse. You just want the team to start hitting in October.
Correct.
Now, can Albert Pujols make them do that? I don't know that anyone can, but certainly he's not going to be someone that comes in and has to, as I said, prove himself to anybody in that clubhouse.
There are skins on the wall,
right,
so to speak. So it's an interesting one. Let's talk about it.
All right. Craig Elston will join us when we come back. Probably won't have enough time for Craig and all his thoughts on everything, but we'll see how much we can get to coming up next year with Bennett Woods on 97.3 The Fan. First, though, get another chance to tell you about Prize Picks Daily Fantasy with a chance to win every single night. There are sports on every single night. You've got all kinds of squares on your Prize Picks app. You just go onto the app. I can do so right now and take a look at what some of the picks are that are trending. You can look at popular picks that other people are playing. You're picking against the numbers with your favorite players in pro football, pro baseball, and now pro basketball about to start. And don't forget, with basketball starting opening night tomorrow night, Steph Curry, max discounted square, 1/2 of 1 point in their first game of the season tomorrow. Put that in one of your lineups. That's the basis of a winning lineup. You're just looking between 2 and 6 total players for a chance to win real money, picking more or less against stat projections, just like that one I told you with Steph Curry. Start today by downloading the Prize Picks app and using the code KWFN to get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. That's code KWFN to get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. And if you don't want to set your own lineups, you can follow other Prize Picks players and follow their lineups. Just copy them right onto your app and play that way. So many different ways to play. It's Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for details.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? This spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Humul Casino Resort, now open.
All right, let's take a quick check of traffic. I know we've gotten a lot of business that we've had to take care of the last few minutes, but then the rest of the hour will be devoted to Craig Elston reacting to what we just heard, talking Padres, talking SDFC, and more. So please bear with us. Back after traffic with Craig Elston next here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is brought to you by Toyota of Poway, voted San Diego's #1 Toyota dealer by USA Today. Still a number of problems here, guys. One of them is this crash on westbound 8 right at the northbound 15 connector and northbound 15 past Friars Road. Accident has been moved over to the right shoulder. In the North County, collision on southbound 5 coastline right before the racetrack. Everything has been cleared into the center divide. Eastbound 78 crash clearing just past Civic Center, but westbound 78 just past Nordall Road. We have reports of a collision involving couple cars. It's in the center divide, and an accident on northbound 15 just past Auto Park Way. That's over the right shoulder. Toyota of Poway has been voted San Diego's #1 Toyota dealer by USA Today, with APRs as low as 0% and tons of new Toyotas on the ground. No tricks, only treats during the Trucktober sales event happening now only at Toyota of Poway or online at toyotaofpoway.com in the heart of San Diego. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben & Wood, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
And joining us right now on our David P. Shapiro fan hotline, Craig Elston facing criminal charges. Trust David P. Shapiro.
No, not me.
Criminal defense attorney. Is this how we do it now, Craig? Helping clients regain control since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com.
Well, what'd you do?
Yeah,
what'd you do?
I plead the fifth.
All right, that's fine. Actually, really smart. You don't want to be incriminated.
Based on what we just heard from Erik Greupner, sounds like AJ Preller will remain in your Padres hot tub. I know a expectation or a hope or that it's not a done deal, but sounds like an extension is at least in the works for AJ Preller.
It was so legalese that I went back to write down what he read so that I could get it. So it was an exhaustive process to all areas of the organization. That evaluation has started now. The part of that review process was a manager that we weren't anticipating. Another part is going to involve a review of AJ and a contract extension. That's already started. John's taking the lead on that with AJ, and it's always been the plan that it would take place in the offseason. We're optimistic that AJ will be our POBO, President of Baseball Ops, past 2026. Did not say well past. He did say promised.
Is promised to any of us, to be honest with you?
No,
Craig?
is anything promised?
Right.
Is 2027 promised to any of us? I mean, I don't know, but I do feel cautiously better. I thought it was weird that there was such a long windup and then the release was a softball pitch, because there was a long windup that made me think, oh no. I was pretty nervous.
Yeah, no, I felt the same way. I felt the same way actually, about that answer too, of like, oh, what's coming now? But I think ultimately, I think you guys are in support of that, and I think we all are as well. Of AJ kind of getting it's crazy because he's been here a long time, but you're like, man, the job's not finished. It's very odd, the life of a Padres fan with its relationship with AJ Preller, isn't it?
It is, and I think 4 playoff appearances in 6 years and what he's done the last 2 years, he's the guy for me. And as long as he's still the guy for the Padres, that's great news. And I think that, something I've learned a long time ago, you guys know it very well too. When it comes to people speaking from positions of power, you got to look at what they're doing as much or more than what they're saying. And they're conducting interviews for manager. So the one thing that I was listening and going, I wonder if they're going to ask, and Woodsy, you asked about contract extension, but is the very simple question. If you're interviewing a manager, why do you have a general manager who's on his last year as part of the discussion process? Like, why would you leave someone in the decision tree that could be gone in a week or a month or a year? Well, you would do that if they're not going to be gone in a week or a month or a year, if they're going to be there longer term. That's why they would be part of the decision process. So I think their actions are lining up with what Erik Greupner said.
Talking to Craig Elston here on Ben and Woods this morning. What are your thoughts? Kevin Acee just reported Albert Pujols. I know that you guys were in the Ruben Niebla camp, as was I. Seems like a kind of an easy one for me, but listen, I know nothing. Nobody knows anything. What are your thoughts on an Albert Pujols deal?
When we did our Monday night Padres Hot Tub show after the first Schilt announcement, which actually aged very well once AC's story came out, that night I said, Ruben Niebla needs to be the pick, except for 2 guys in the universe. Because I think there's 2 guys who could walk into the clubhouse and demand immediate respect, admiration, lock in the key stars behind them to a level that Ruben Niebla would be happy to fall in line and continue his ascendant job as one of the best pitching coaches in America. Those 2 people are Albert Pujols and Bruce Bochy. And I don't know that there's a third. Like, I'm not sure that there's 3 people in the world that Fernando Tatis Jr. will every single time look up when they're speaking. But I think Albert Pujols is one of those. I think his father is another. And I think maybe Boch, but definitely Pujols. And definitely his dad. His dad is not up for the job. Pujols, to me, makes the most sense and was first on my list on Monday night. And Niebla's right after it because I don't think Bochy's realistic. But he's a guy that for 1 year I would also think could immediately have Manny and Toddy in line on side all year.
We also know, Mike Schilt brought his Cardinal training to the San Diego Padres organization. And a lot of that seems like it's been a positive for the Padres,
sure,
changing the culture. Albert Pujols was also brought up the same way. In a way, you're getting some continuity if you do hire Albert Pujols, even though he hasn't been part of the Padres organization. Do you think that is part of the equation here?
I think it's because he hit 703 home runs and he is one of the Dominican Republic's greatest players, if not their greatest player of all time. So, he's the Mount Rushmore of that if they had a mountain on an island in the DR. So, I really think it's as simple as that. And he has managed down there and had success and already won a regular season and already won a playoff and already managed in the WBC, and he wants to do it. The history of the greatest players in a sport becoming a manager or head coach in that sport are not great.
Yeah.
And that's across sports. Like Wayne Gretzky wasn't he was okay. He wasn't a great head coach. So that would be my primary concern is, can Albert Pujols relate? But he's already been doing that work. And that's what makes me interested and intrigued in the potential of Albert Pujols, is it feels like he's kind of been putting in that work even his last 2-3 years as a player. So I'd be very, very interested to see what comes out of that interview.
Let's turn our attention to SDFC. We had a whole segment on, why this last weekend was so beneficial to their chances in the playoffs. We also don't know about this mystery of Chicky Lozano. Anything that you guys are hearing on the Chromaniac side about what's going on with SDFC as they head toward the postseason?
Yeah, that was the question from our buddy Chiva from San Diego Punto Football that got the answer. Mikey Varas is the straightest talker in town. And when he said that, we all went, whoa. Because I heard you guys earlier talking about Pellegrino, and the one interesting thing that Amal himself made the point of saying on Thursday is that he does not consider himself a center forward. He considers himself a winger. And he said, I'm not a 9. He said those words out loud in public. And the 2 times he's come in, it's been to play Chuky's position. And he has had 6 goal contributions in 3 halves. 3 halves of playing for SDFC, but Chuky hasn't played in any of those, and he wasn't on the trip, and it does make you wonder, because I think if he was hurt, I think Mikey would have said he was hurt. He said it was an internal issue and week to weeks. So that really does make me wonder. I think personally, and this is what we said on Chromaniac Saturday night, I think best case scenario is honestly that he was upset about being pulled.
Ooh.
And
that's what I was kind of thinking as well.
Yeah, that he was upset that he got pulled at halftime, that he didn't agree. Maybe he left the locker room. This is pure speculation, zero reporting. I want to make sure I'm really clear about that. But that would be an internal issue.
Sure.
That would lead to hey, you're not going to be on the plane next week either, buddy. You don't want to play this week. You're not going to be with us this week. You won't be with us next week. And we'll see what the week after brings. And that makes sense to me from an Occam's razor perspective.
Oh, an Occam's razor mention, a nice throwback. Ben and Woods. Ben brought that up about 8 years ago. I'd never heard it, which is not surprising. But
the simplest explanation tends to be true.
That's
in
right.
this case, if it's not an injury, some sort of internal strife or drama involving a star player.
Well,
not the best thing going to the playoffs.
True, but look at if it's true, and look at our coach Mikey Varas. It's like that's fine. That's fine. Just don't get on the plane. I love that. I mean, it just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen in pro sports very much. I was watching the other day, Bobby Cox pull Andrew Jones from the game in the middle of an inning in I can't remember the year. You guys remember that happened?
I don't.
He
yeah,
man. He screwed up at the plate. It was mad. Then went out and dogged it in the field in center. And in the middle of the inning, he's like, come on in. Gerald Williams runs out. And Andrew Jones is like, me? In the middle of an inning. And I go, oh my God, I can't even imagine. But that if it's one of those, just more credit and more respect to Mikey Varas for doing something like that.
Last thing, Craig, and my knowledge of tiebreakers is weak, but if the Wave win their last game, they get a home playoff game, right?
They do. It sets up because the 2 teams in front of them are playing one another. Yeah. So if they win,
tough win.
Look,
yeah.
Kansas City did lose their last match, and the only thing they have to play for in that match is their form and their fans, because they're going to have Fan Appreciation Day. They're going to have 20,000 in their beautiful park. So they probably don't want to go into the playoffs with 2 straight losses, but they probably also don't want to risk catching any injuries with the best team by a mile in the NWSL. So I think there's 2 reasons for a chance. The first is that KC may play a little bit lackluster. And the second is that the Wave have scored 9 goals in their last 2 matches, and they're really on fire offensively. So if they have found this form now with Dudinya and Cascarino and Dali all kind of working together, they might be able to beat anybody, or at least anybody but KC. But maybe they could beat a weakened KC that's not playing for anything.
The 9 goals matches, their total goals scored from 3.5 months in the last 2 matches.
Cow.
So I know that was pretty crazy. Craig, appreciate it as always. Have a good week. We'll talk to you next Monday.
You bet. See you then.
There is Craig Elston. We will come back. Final hour. Feels like there's so much we haven't gotten to yet, but we've got a round of report for things that we've missed coming up next on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Final hour of Ben and Woods on an eventful Monday. Already. Quick start to the week. And as we start this week, I do think I should address what this week is going to look like for the tier ones out there, because as Woods has already mentioned,
you're breaking radio code here, buddy.
He is. I know. Usually, that's what we do. They tell us just to surprise you, but we don't do that to our audience. Our tier ones mean too much to us, so we're just going to let you know. Woods obviously is going to play baseball. He is leaving Tuesday. Paulie and I are staying through Wednesday, and we will react to anything that's going on and have a full show without Woods on Wednesdays. You get ready for your first game, and then Thursday and Friday, we're just taking the whole show off. I'm going and I'm playing golf with my buddy up in Henderson again, and Sammy's going to come in. We're going to run some of our best of stuff that Paulie's been putting together, fun segments that we really enjoyed.
6 to 8.
And we'll be bringing those back from 6 to 8 on Thursday and Friday. And then if anything big happens, Sammy's going to come in from 8 to 10, react to any Padres news, do some of his off-season breakdowns. I think everybody misses Sammy after a couple of weeks. He looks kind of sad and lonely, just drinking coffee by himself and in OB like every day.
Yeah, he was out doing some speech at some school or something.
I was filling the time already with appearances at elementary schools, and it's time to get Sammy back on the air here. I know he's worked very hard and he deserves some time off, but
he's had enough now.
He's had enough now, and we're bringing him back for a couple of hours on Thursday and Friday.
Yeah, exactly. Get your ass back in gear.
You'll get some Sammy live and local. You get some best of Ben and Woods on Thursday and Friday.
It's a good way to do it.
And then we're back Monday, I believe, for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Until we go on holiday break right around Christmas time after the extravaganza. So you'll have us for the final 2+ months of the year uninterrupted. And then we come back in January, and it's fantasy camp, it's spring training, and we are off.
WBC, it's we are all the way back in. So it's but no, I love that we're going to be upfront and honest and not, hey, where are you now? People will inevitably tweet, where are you guys? What's going on? Why did I already hear this? It happens. So you're not going to catch everybody at the right time.
But just letting you know. But we will be here tomorrow. Paulie and I will be here on Wednesday. And then Best of and Sammy Levitt on Thursday and Friday.
You going to get a guest host for Wednesday?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Why do you always wait till the last minute? When you go, I've got somebody lined up for months.
You do. Let me think about it.
As someone who's always prepared, this is the one that always catches him by surprise. He said, we really should have called someone.
I do. I have a great co-host when you're gone.
You do.
He's right there.
Yeah, 100%.
That's a great job. He just has to work really hard to do both of those things at the same time.
Caitlin wants to know, since we're being honest and open here, are you guys going to do another Ben and Woods off the air?
I think that the answer to that is definitely maybe.
Definitely maybe.
Yes. We will.
Yes. Paulie says yes.
Next week.
If Paulie
next week?
What?
Oh, no. I'm sorry. I thought that was a member stream. We are doing a member stream.
Next week. Yes. Off the air.
Sorry.
Oh, this week.
We're waiting for another good topic / guest / reason, but we will, if we have one, we will put one together. We just haven't done one. We've been pretty busy this last month.
We have.
It's been a hectic month.
We'll get it done for you, Caitlin.
Yeah. All right. Shall we get to a little Rindle report?
Please.
Let's do it.
And get things started here with our today's edition of the Rindle report.
Now tuned into the greatest.
Welcome to the Rindle Report with Paul Rindle.
Hi, Paul.
All right.
2 stories from the world of sports that we haven't gotten to yet.
We'll start off in Major League Baseball.
And 1 story that you didn't know you needed.
Are you laughing, biatch?
It's the Rindle Report
Hey, Paul, how you doing? Okay, how are you?
on 97.3 The Fan.
Are you ready to bless the mood? I need some help, please.
That was good.
Can I get a oh yeah? Oh yeah.
All right. It's the Rindle Report. It is brought to you by your local Kia dealers. Visit kia.com to discover movement that inspires. Where to begin today, gentlemen? You know what? This could have actually been in a do this as well. Some cool news on Friday morning, Friday afternoon when this came down. Locally here in San Diego, I saw that there was a big, generous donation made to San Diego State on Friday. It was announced from, let me pull up the article here, Chase Fisher, who you may know as the founder of Blenders Eyewear. He is a graduate of San Diego State. He says here he graduated a year after I started at San Diego State. Okay. He's done more for himself. A little bit.
His story, I was reading about it. It's fascinating.
It's amazing. He is as red and black as they come, and he has pledged a $5 million gift to the Aztec basketball program.
Amazing.
This was announced on Friday. I believe it's $1 million a year for the next 5 years.
I love it.
Was texting with some buddies about it, and they go, when you factor in now the NIL tournament in Las Vegas that they play in last November, this November, and assuming November's to come, they get $1 million just for playing in that. You get an extra $1 million when you win, but just for playing, you get $1 million. So you take that $1 million plus the annual $1 million from Chase Fisher.
Now we're cooking.
You're starting at $2 million for the program.
Got the $150
from
from me, the $0 and plenty of promotion from Ben. What do you call it? Exposure? Plenty of exposure.
Publicity.
Right.
I just think that is such a huge,
but still $0
$0
and 0 cents.
Well, I'm not an alum.
I'm not either.
I know you're not.
You
send any? Where did you send any to your various alma mater stuff?
No,
you don't. I didn't.
Zero.
You did to San Diego State.
I did.
Good for you.
Good for you.
And you're still at $0.
So Chase Fisher, he was just wearing like these like $5 sunglasses at a concert. Everyone was going, "Those are really cool," and he was like, "Man, these are really cheap. People like these so much. I should make my own cheap sunglasses and." People will love them, and they did. And Blenders was born, and
now he's got Deion Sanders wearing them.
So
now, of all the alum on this radio station, Aztec alum, L.O., Paulie,
correct,
Tony Gwynn Jr.,
yes,
who's the highest donor. If it's me at 150, we've got problems.
I've got to think that Tony Gwynn Jr. at some point.
Well, let's put their feet to the
hit him up
fire
a little bit. We'll see.
Hey guys, don't talk about it. Be about it. That's how I look at it.
No, that was really cool though.
Now the Aztecs did lose on Friday. We didn't talk about it.
They were
exhibition to UCLA.
They were getting
17-0. They felt like 17-0.
That's not a good
10
start.
turnovers.
They
really
lost by
ugly
7.
start. They only lost by 7.
Yeah.
They recovered.
All right,
played pretty well the second
If they
half
had
of the
won,
game.
it would have been a bigger deal. But they lost. It's just a scrimmage.
Reese Dixon Waters scored
And
19 points to lead SDSU in that game. Donovan Dent, the former New Mexico star who's now with UCLA, 18 points for the Bruins, but they'll have one more exhibition game against USD, and then the opener, November 4th, at home against Long Beach State.
Yeah, I was talking with some friends that were there on Friday night. Everybody said, yeah, they got punched in the mouth to start that scrimmage game against UCLA, but they came back, and Magoon Guath didn't even play, and the reports that I got were, the defense, it still holds, and they were blocking shots left and right, and that was without Magoon Guath. So he's going to.
And as I kind of speculated last week, Brian Dutcher was thrilled that his team got punched in the mouth.
Yeah,
he was like, this is perfect for me.
Correct.
The last thing you want is to go out and win by 30 in an exhibition game. And everyone's going like, we're so great. We don't need to do anything. He can point to that and go, all right, that's the team. That's the kind of team you'll be facing in a Sweet 16. Now you need to be better going forward because they can do that to you. And it's a great lesson to learn in a game that doesn't count at all.
Maybe Lincoln Riley will learn the same lesson.
Maybe. Should get some football maybe at 9:30.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a lot to talk about from the weekend. There was one football-ish story here locally that had me extremely confused when this came out. Also, I think on Friday, actually.
I thought it was a
You guys, we were texting.
I thought it was satire. I didn't read this right.
We were texting.
I'm clearly under the influence.
One of you guys referenced this via text. I had not seen this at all. I go, what in the
What is
hell
this?
are you talking about? Well, the reports are that the Holiday Bowl almost ended up. They were in conversations with potentially moving the Holiday Bowl from San Diego here at Snapdragon Stadium on January 2nd to Saudi Arabia, who wants to host a college bowl game.
By us.
Awful announcing
any other
says,
market.
Awful announcing says they also want an NFL game out there eventually, which the NFL is doing so many international games. I guess they want a piece, but the Holiday Bowl of all the bowls,
bowls,
every single bowl game, I go, really? That's the one that they want.
Has to be from San Diego, didn't it?
So
I don't know how this came to be. I don't even know where we're at.
I do. It's an unfortunate situation, and I saw our friend Mark Neville, who's been on with us before. He runs the Holiday Bowl, and great guy. Remember, donated his own kidney.
Guy's elite.
Great guy. He got absolutely screwed when the Holiday Bowl got canceled 2 years in a row. First for COVID in 2020.
Remember that?
They at least planned for that. We knew they didn't get the stadium and everything ready.
God, that's right.
The next year, 2021, they were like 4 hours from game time, and UCLA said, we're not playing. We have too many players with COVID. They had to give back. Oh, they had already spent everything on all the entertainment, everything, the teams, and they didn't have a game. They had to give back all the ticket money. After that, they have been buried in red ink. They have been in huge debt from that, and they're looking for any way to get out of it. And I mean, why not? You see Saudi Arabia giving all this money to these rich people, like, live golfers and
there's a lot of
other events. So he looked into the possibility of a one-off game in Riyadh that would have fixed them financially, and then they could have brought it back to San Diego healthy for the long term. Didn't work out. Ended up, the ACC said, we don't want to go to Saudi Arabia to play a game. So fine, put the game on in San Diego. They put on a good game like they always do, but they will still be facing serious financial difficulties because of those 2 years. And there's just kind of desperately looking for something that could fix the Holiday Bowl's finances. Unfortunately, it's a bad situation.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. They just did that big comedy show over there, and it was like a huge, huge deal. Holy cow. This is wild. What a weird world we live in.
It is weird, for sure.
I don't envy anybody that's honestly approached by that potential
I mean,
thing happening, because
you may be mad about it that they even considered it, which is fine. That's within your right.
It's so easy to sit here and be like, how could you possibly do that? Until you see the offer that they make, and then you go, well, everyone else is doing it.
I think it's one thing though, like a golfer. Hey, I'm going to be making $15 million on the PGA Tour, but I can make $40 million.
Doesn't bother Phil Mickelson even a little. I watch his Twitter. Not even a little.
I definitely have more sympathy for. Hey, like we may go under if we don't find a way to get out of debt, and this could be our chance to do so. To at least explore that. I think it would be irresponsible not to at least look at it. They're not doing
get your
it.
Tickets.
Support the Holiday Bowl in San Diego.
Interesting.
Yeah,
that was very, very strange. I had the same reaction. I go, of course, San Diego. Of course, the Holiday Bowl.
Had to be.
Had all those other choices. All right. Finally, we'll wrap it up. A pretty wild story in Paris over the weekend. I've been trying to think. So the Louvre, the Louvre was
haven't you? I have. I've never been to Paris, but Woods has been to the Louvre.
Rain the day we went to the Louvre.
It's inside.
Yeah. Well, the Louvre.
But to get into the Louvre, we had quite a walk.
They had some issues over the weekend with. It says here that I'm reading an audacious 7-minute raid that took place after they opened on Sunday yesterday, and I started thinking 7 minutes. You
get a lot done in 7 minutes.
You could.
Twice.
Now, it says after they opened, so they did not, I guess, break in earlier, like during the middle of the night or anything like that. But what was stolen were a bunch of artifacts from, like, dating back, jewels dating back to the Napoleonic era.
Yeah. Did you see the van? They had so what happened was they pulled a van up to this parking spot, extended this massive ladder up to the balcony.
A truck-mounted ladder to gain access to the Apollo Gallery, one of the most ornate rooms in the Louvre.
Got in, and then they didn't do some fancy, pressure lock where
it's not quite a movie heist.
They took a hammer and they smashed the glass and they grabbed all of the stuff, and they ran out with all of these jewels.
Tom Cruise is not starring in this movie because there's no acrobatics.
They're not going in and rewiring the security. They're just, boom, we took it, we got this jewelry and all these crowns and jewels. They did leave they left a 40-carat diamond ring in there, which is worth God only knows. But they took all this stuff. And then it
says here, 2 high-security display cases were targeted. 8 of the 9 items taken remain unaccounted for, including a tiara and necklace worn by multiple French queens in history.
Incredible stuff.
Here's my question, though. All right, you've made off with the loot.
What do you do with
the tiara from the Napoleonic era?
Right.
Who do you sell it to? Everyone knows what this stuff is, and it's hot.
I think about that in like movies or television, even.
How do you fence it?
If you steal something that's one of one,
they have a mysterious billionaire buyer who's willing to keep it secret to keep the movie going. But I don't know that person exists in real life.
Okay, people say black market sellers.
For what?
Russian oligarchs.
Then what do they do with it? Like a jewel.
You can't show it off because everyone knows you have it. Everyone knows where
one.
it came from.
Yes.
You can't publicize that you have it.
Facebook Marketplace.
I mean, you have to be Thomas Crown and like you're just enjoying this thing for yourself. No one else gets to see it, and it's got like in some secret compartment in your office. Look, I got these jewels, and I bought them. I mean, at least Thomas Crown stole them himself.
There was a guy by the name of Stéphane Brettweiser. He's a French thief. He stole 239 pieces of art, and you know what he did with it? He put it in his mom's extra room to look at. He appreciated the art so much he just had to have it. But he was a thief. I think what he got off on was stealing these works, owning them, and just having them to look at. Actually, the real reason one possesses art is to be inspired by said art. And he did 26 months in jail. Like, he didn't actually do that much time. But he stole $1.4 billion of art. Why did he steal it? Not to sell it.
Someone stole a Picasso on Friday. I had that story on Channel 10. It was stolen in transport in Spain. It's a 5-inch by 4-inch Picasso, like a tiny Picasso.
One,
but it was worth millions, probably. It was insured for like $700,000. They don't know what happened. It was like, it was there when it got on the truck. It was not there when the truck got there.
That's crazy, man.
And they don't know what happened.
Yeah, I don't know what these guys are. They did happen to drop, though. So apparently they got away on little mini high-powered scooters, like we just got Paul for his birthday. So these guys had bags full of jewels and stuff. One of the crowns from one of the queens fell out and is now ruined. They dropped it. Probably one of the best pieces in there. They've now dropped it. They did recover it, but it's ruined.
High-speed scooter chase through Paris. Would be an incredibly dramatic scene for the movie.
It's pretty amazing.
With those European sirens that sound totally different from our sirens.
Yeah, it's amazing.
They're kind of cool, aren't they?
They are cool.
Yeah.
All of it's cool. Stealing art is cool. I mean, the story. Don't steal art. I'm not advocating for you to steal art. I'm just saying the whole story of them doing that is pretty cool.
I just can't imagine they're going to make a huge amount of money.
Can't
off
either.
Of these, but
they have it.
Got the story for sure.
Unless they catch them, and they said the full manhunt is underway over there. It's nuts.
They tried to set fire to the van.
And I think right when it happened right when it opened. So then they immediately had to, like, you're from Cleveland. It's your last day in Paris. You're like, hey, we'll go to the Louvre on the last day. You walk in, they kick you right out. We've just had a massive.
They said there were like
heist.
Tour groups, and you could hear it sounded like stomping on the windows as they were trying to like bash their way in, and they just like shuffled all the tour groups out and shut it down, locked it down, and they were closed all day yesterday.
Cool story.
Paulie, thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
All right, let's take a time out. I will let Woodsy take his full victory lap for college football from over the weekend. Congratulations to his Notre Dame Fighting Irish and some more dramatic results. Aztecs were off, but plenty of stuff going on in college football and more. We'll get to that after a quick timeout. Ben Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. First, though, I get to tell you about SDFatLoss.com. Again, I lost a few pant sizes. I think my pants even got a little shorter during my SD Fat Loss.
That's just you.
That's just me, apparently. Yeah. But they fit a lot better for sure. That was really why I started the program. Did not like how my clothes were fitting. Did not like what I saw in the mirror. You see the videos that play in between the breaks, the ones that are from 3 or 4 years ago. I had gotten too heavy, no doubt about it. And finally, I found a program that I was able to not only lose weight fast, up to 10 to 20% of my body weight in 60 days, 40 pounds for me, but keep the weight off. I've kept the weight off for 2+ years now, thanks to the great strategies, the great coaching from SDFatLoss.com. You could be the next success story out there when you sign up today. Get your free consultation at SDFatLoss.com. And when you sign up, take $200 off right now before October 31st. And if you start before October 31st, that means you can have that weight gone before the start of the new year. Before your New Year's resolutions kick in, you won't even need them this year. You'll be a brand new you in January of 2026 if you start today with no injections, no exercise necessary, and it's all based on real food, stuff from the grocery store, even restaurants. You can go eat out and still lose weight fast, up to a pound of fat per day at SDFatLoss.com. That's SDFatLoss.com. Results may vary.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Well, got some good news. The Biggest Fan contest is returning on Monday, November 3rd. Our grand prize, once again, a night in the Odyssey Suite with 20 tickets for you and your friends to watch a future Padres game with the whole fan staff. Remember, this is how it works. You register your name at 973thefansd.com/biggest-fan. You can do that at any time between now and the start of the contest. Then once the contest starts, we will announce a name each day at 9 a.m., 1 p.m., and 5:30 p.m., and you'll have a chance to call us back and qualify for the grand prize drawing.
Love the Biggest Fan.
Yeah.
I think it's such a great idea, and the suite night is pretty elite. So, make sure to do that. Tell them again how they do it.
Again, go to the website, which is thefansd.com/973thefansd.com/biggest-fan.
Right.
It's all written out in long words.
Facing criminal charges, go to
973thefansd.com/biggest-fan and put your name into the drawing.
I got to tell you about one of my biggest fans, my mom. And I feared over the weekend that my mom potentially was losing it. You know, your parents get a little older, you get a little nervous. You're like, man, are things okay with my mom and her mental faculties? Now, one thing about my mom, she likes to send the kids stuff because she lives far away. So she sends the kids stuff all the time. And Easter, they get a little basket. Halloween's a big one because they love Halloween. So she sends them PJs and she sends them candy and all the Halloween stuff. So the other thing, when she sends a box, she'll text you 3 dozen times to make sure. Did you get it? It says that it was supposed to be delivered. Did you get it yet? Let me know when you get it. Mom, I'm going to let you know as soon as it's here. Promise you. That's one thing I promise. I will let you know when we get the box. I'll send you video of the kids opening it like I always do. You'll be very excited. So Saturday rolls around. She texts us. Box come? Send a big box for Halloween. I go, I don't know. I haven't checked the mail. I'm going to go down and do it right now. So Taylor and I go down. Sure enough, lo and behold, there's the box delivered by the U.S. Postal Service. Taylor's so excited. We get home. Bo is elated. We run over to the kitchen counter, get the knife out, open it up.
It better not have been what happened to me.
No, it was not that, Paul. It was not a marital aid. It was 2 sets of Halloween plates. One had ghosts on them. One had witches on them. So open the box. I go, let me see if there's a card or something.
Festive Halloween dishware.
Halloween dishware. Yeah, paper plates, but one with ghosts, one with witches. So you can imagine my kids.
They must have been elated. That must have been like Christmas has come early. Take those off of my
Can't
Christmas
wait to
list.
eat Dad's meatloaf on our paper plates.
One less thing to ask Santa Claus for.
Taylor, there's no lying in that kid. He goes, that's it? That's all we got? There is no lying in that child. And I go, oh no. I go, and I looked at Hannah. Hannah looked at me. I go, she's like Aunt Bethany from Christmas Vacation. She wrapped up her damn cat, wrapped up a Jell-O mold. I'm like, she's lost. Yeah, every day my plates suck.
You never watched Toy Story, but the toys are all spying on the birthday party, and the army soldier goes, and it's bed sheets. We got bed sheets.
Yeah.
And then Mr. Potato Head goes, bed sheets? Who invited that kid?
Yeah, right.
Halloween plates.
So they are devastated.
Oh,
and I go,
no.
hey, and then you have to pull the dad thing of like, you should be grateful for anything you get. knowing, by the way, I'm lying through my teeth and I'm shooting my wife these glances of like, has my mom lost her mind officially? So I text her, I go, did you send plates? She writes back, she goes, oh, I've sent 2 boxes. That's the little box that wouldn't fit in the big box. The big box has not been delivered yet. And I'm like, okay, everyone calm down. You got gift cards, you got chocolate, you got all kinds of stuff coming. Your grandmother has not lost her mind. Everything's they literally each took a plate out and started beating each other with the plate. I was like, that's not what this is for. I was like, what are you supposed to do with this? Dude, I don't know.
Worst costume ever.
Yeah, literally the worst.
Like a shield?
Yeah, Halloween box and throwing like frisbees in the yard. I was like, oh, thank God, Mom. Thank God. I go, why didn't you tell me you sent 2? They got the little one first. The big one, she just texted me. That's what reminded. She goes, it'll be there today. I'm like, okay, I'll text you the minute I get it. But me trying to do the dad bit of like, there's kids that don't even get plates for Halloween. Like, even I was like, all right, man. Like, I'm disappointed in my mom too for this. It's such a stupid thing we parents
She's still
do.
kind of disappointed for you than thinking that might have been all she sent.
Yeah,
though,
correct. But
she could have also given you the heads up. There's actually 2 packages
Correct,
coming. I couldn't fit
correct.
all of it in one box.
Bro, I was in tears as they battled each other with their plates. And I'm like, just put these plates up with the paper plates. It was so funny.
Now,
so thank you, Mom.
Carlos said in the chat, I didn't know if this was something new or not, but he said you can sign up for USPS alerts and they email you your mail for the day. I just signed up for this last week, a couple weeks ago when I started doing our change of address. Sure enough, every day I get an email with a digital like scan of the front of any letter or any piece of mail that is on its way to my house today.
Why do you want it?
Another Costco mailer coming today.
Yeah. Why do you want it?
I guess it's nice to know. You're like, it's just junk mail. I can probably wait till tomorrow.
Wait till tomorrow to go
I don't
out.
have to go
that every day
get it
to the box.
Or, that's important. I need to go get the mail today.
There's my check from someone.
It's so nice when you get a check in the mail
It's
for whatever
great.
reason.
It's great.
Like, this isn't a bill. This is a check.
Yeah,
this
but
is the opposite
I
of
got
a bill.
class action settlement, lawsuit settlement.
Did you actually get the actual?
Yeah, it was like
settlement?
$40.
Nice.
And I think it was a Facebook thing, and they were just like, "We're giving away money if you want it.
Sounds
sign
good to
up."
me.
And
I've
it
used
was
Facebook before. Where's my money?
Yeah.
it was deposited to my Venmo.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, $40.
Sounds like a scam, but
Yeah.
I mean, they gave you
They-
$40.
They gave me the money, so
Thank you, Mom.
Adam wants
Amazing.
everybody to know that you don't have to sign up by November 3rd to be included in the biggest fan contest, but you should, because we won't draw your name until you're signed up. So you have to have your name in to hear it called. So sign up as early as you possibly can for the biggest fan, but we won't close the signups when the names start.
Okay.
You can still sign up whenever, but the idea would be you get the best chance to win if you sign up now before we start drawing names. 97.3 The Fan, SD.com/biggest fan.
All right.
All right, let's take a last time out. Then we'll get to your
football, and we still owe Take on Woods.
Oh,
today.
that's right.
Yeah,
let's get a
let's do
contestant on the line. 833-288-0973. 833-288-0973. We'll play our game, and then we'll wrap things up with Ben Woods coming up next year on 97.3 The Fan.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. GEGE 000466. For a full list of games and rules, play at 7 Mile Casino. Visit 7milecasino.com.
First, though, Woods and I get a chance to tell you about 7 Mile Casino, our place to play cards right down the 5 freeway in Chula Vista. Just hop on the 5, get off at E, stay on the west side of the freeway. That's Bay Boulevard. And within minutes, you're going to be pulling into the parking lot at 7 Mile Casino.
Yes, and go inside and play some of the incredible table games that they have: California-style blackjack, Texas Hold'em, Pai Gow, and Baccarat.
I like Pai Gow poker because it's you get to pick the cards that you're playing in each hand. You like California-style blackjack.
Love it.
We both like Texas Hold'em.
Love the rush of it. But it's a place you can go for 4 hours. It's a place you can go for half an hour if you want. Great place to have lunch, dinner. Great game, post game. Go watch a game. They got TVs there. Great bar area and an incredible patio area.
There is a second football game on tonight at 7:00. You can go after that game at 10 and still get a meal because of the 24/7 players menu that's on 24 hours, 7 days a week. I have the Kung Pao chicken last week. It's on the players menu. It's fantastic.
It's a delicious treat when you go to 7 Mile Casino. And listen, just check it out for yourself. You will not be disappointed if you do. It's 7 Mile Casino. It's just 7 minutes from downtown.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Through the Fans, brought to you by IHOP. Introducing the IHOP Value Menu, where all your breakfast faves are just $6 each every day. Where else can you get a big, filling, sit-down breakfast for only $6? Go to your Happy Plates with the $6 value IHOP menu. Available every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations.
Tell everybody what I've ruined for you now. Because I've ruined so much of your
last week.
career.
Joe Davis is unlistenable now.
Yeah, I've ruined him for you.
And I didn't used to find him unlistenable. I mean, he was never as good as Joe Buck. I always liked Joe Buck. And like Joe Davis was like, whatever. Like, fine, someone needs to call these games. Yeah. And I was okay with it. But now that you've done the Joe Davis voice, I can't stop hearing it.
Yeah.
I can't. It's like nails on a chalkboard.
You can't not hear it, right? Because nobody talks this way in real life, right?
Yeah.
You just call the game. 97.3 The Fan. 97.3 The Fan. Just vomiting and puking the entire time into the microphone. Nobody does that. Nobody speaks that way. A-Rod does. It's the A-Rod. It drives me nuts. You're trying to be an announcer instead of just talking.
I think A-Rod may have an actual speech
Maybe
impediment.
a speech impediment.
I don't know that Joe Davis does
not. He just talks like this, all syrupy. And it makes me insane. You can't unhear it.
Like, put it this way. I don't think A-Rod is necessarily puking. I think that's just how he talks.
Yeah, maybe he's
I do think Joe Davis is broadcaster puking.
Yeah, agreed.
I used to love the broadcaster kind of pukey voice.
I know you did. I've ruined that for you.
Brockmeyer, the old days.
Yeah. I mean, Brockmeyer is doing a clear bit. And Joe Davis is like, ooh, I'll just do that. It's so bad, man. I've ruined it for Andy as well. So good. I'm glad that my mission has been accomplished.
All right. Your next mission, though, is our first game of Take on Woods this week. Let's get to it.
Take on Woods.
Woods. Take on Woods brought to you by Bay Alarms, security and fire alarms for every business. We got you. We got Mike as a contestant, and we've got a fun new category coming up as well today. Hello, Mike. How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
I'm good. All right, 5 questions of musical trivia. If you beat or tie Woods, we'll put you into the grand prize drawing for the trip for 2 to Las Vegas to see Jerry Seinfeld at the Coliseum at Caesar's Palace. That'll be on April 17th. You also get a $100 gas card and a 2-night stay at the Flamingo. Get your tickets to Jerry Seinfeld 2 nights in April at Ticketmaster.com. All right, here are the categories, the returning categories. Another Take on Woods category, 5 song titles that include the word another. Holding Out, all 2-second songs, including the word hold. And our new category, There It Was, Glory Hole. 5 song titles that include the word.
There it was, Glory Hole.
Glory.
Jeez.
Another take on Woods category, holding out, or there it was, glory hole. Mike, what are you going to play?
There it was, glory hole.
Oh, why not? Let's get right to it. 5 song titles that all include the word glory. You'll have 60 seconds. Answer as many as you can. If you don't know one, say pass. We'll come back to it if there's time left on the clock. First question is the 2-second song. You need to give me that song title and the artist to score the point. Again, glory in every song title. Mike, you ready to play?
Yep.
All right. Paul, you ready to go?
Ready.
All right, a couple obvious ones here. Let's go. 60 seconds on the clock. The category, there it was, glory hole. Mike, your time begins when Paul plays the music. Good luck. Let's take on Woods.
Pass.
Former Chicago singer Peter Cetera had his first solo #1 hit in 1986 with which song that appeared in the movie Karate Kid Part 2?
Pass.
Which 2011 Lady Gaga hit is about the final moments of life and was inspired by the death of her grandfather?
Pass.
John Bon Jovi's first solo release was which song written for the movie Young Guns 2 that reached #1 on the Billboard charts?
I do not know these ones.
Which 1994 song by the English group Portishead shares a name with a receptacle young women would use to collect clothing and other items for use after marriage?
Going back to Lady Gaga's song, it's The Edge of Glory.
That is the Lady Gaga song. I'll give you that one. Let's go back to our 2-second song. I couldn't get that one. I don't think you had much hope today, Mike. Just the one right. That was Glory Days by Bruce Springsteen. Seemed like the most obvious one of the group.
I think so.
Glory of Love from Peter Cetera, Blaze of Glory from John Bon Jovi, and Glory Box was the last one. All right. Mike has picked our category. I think you're going to enjoy this one, Woods. Put 60 seconds back on the clock.
Okay.
Your time begins when Paul plays the music. Good luck. Let's take on Mike.
Glory Days, Bruce Springsteen.
Correct. Former Chicago singer Peter Cetera had his first
Glory
solo.
of Love.
Correct. Which 2011 Lady Gaga hit is about the final moments of life and was inspired by the death of her
The
grandfather.
Edge of Glory.
Correct. John Bon Jovi's first solo release was which song written for the movie
Blaze of Glory.
Correct. Which 1994 song by the English group Portishead shares a name with a receptacle young woman would use to collect clothing and other items for use after marriage?
Glory hole.
No, Glory Box.
Glory box.
Glory
Sorry.
Box.
Was the category Glory hole?
The category was there it was. Glory hole.
You are such a deviant, my friend.
4-1 though. You got the win today.
I love
over
you.
Mike. Yeah, that was a new category. Mike was very excited by it, but once he didn't get Glory Days, I didn't know what he was thinking might be in that
kind of
category.
tough. Yeah.
That was the by far most obvious choice
There
there.
was.
All right, let's check traffic. We'll wrap things up. Let Woods take a victory lap on his Notre Dame Fighting Irish and talk a little college football and more from the weekend. Coming up next year on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
The roads are winding down pretty nicely all around the county. We have this one crash in the North County in the clearing stage, westbound 78 at Nordall Road. It's over to the right shoulder. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Good sports weekend for Woods. Good sports weekend for Adam Klug as his #9 Georgia Bulldogs prevailed over previously undefeated Ole Miss 43-35, a game I watched a little bit on Saturday, and I did watch some of the USC Trojans losing to the Notre Dame Fighting Irish Woods 34-24. Notre Dame's better team and a better program right now.
It was a great, great game. They ran the ball.
Jeremiah Love.
How great is that dude? Jadarian Price as well with the kickoff return. It was awesome, man. I like I said, if we win one game a year, that's the one. I'm like, oh, we won 1-11, fine. I don't care. Beat USC. That's kind of the one. The fact that this game may be going away at some point makes me sick to my stomach. It absolutely turns my stomach to think that they won't play that. But it was a battle, dude. They always battle. I mean, there's no question. But some of the play calling, did you watch into the fourth?
I did not see the end of the fourth quarter.
Well, they have 4th and inches at one point. And Lincoln Riley calls some goobery pass play. And
oh, that's right. Yeah, that was I did see that play.
Then they had a
roll out to the right.
Then they had a reverse. They called a reverse that went sideways.
Guy tried to throw it and then
fumbled it.
I saw that one.
I mean, it was bananas. And,
Lincoln Riley's been a real disappointment as coach.
I told you guys when they got him, I said he is not the guy for that program at that time. He's just not. He's not a big game guy at all, and he hasn't been for them. And he'd pay him a fortune. Remember the package that they gave that dude? They bought his house in Norman, bought him a huge spread. He's got a plane. He's got everything. And you got to be disappointed if you're an SC fan.
I
love it. Stay forever. That's how I feel.
The narrative can change because a year ago, Ryan Day was absolutely not the right guy for Ohio State. And since then, well, they went on to win the national championship, and they look like they're probably going to cruise to another one this year. Behind the Carlsbad QB, Julian Sayin, who threw 394 yards and 4 touchdowns in a wipeout of Wisconsin. I mean, there are other good teams. Number 2 Miami lost though on Friday night, so they got bumped off. Indiana's honestly been they're number 2 now. They beat Michigan State easily, and they're looking good.
How about all the undefeated teams that lost?
Texas Tech lost as well to Arizona State in Tempe. They got knocked from the ranks of the unbeaten as well. LSU, they weren't undefeated, but they lost to Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's legit.
They look really
lost
good
to Alabama, but otherwise they're legit. And watch out for Alabama. They won 4 straight against ranked teams now. They're kind of back with the 37-20 win over Tennessee. They are definitely looking like they'll be a playoff threat under Kalen DeBoer in his second season.
It's a little chaotic in college football right now.
Is it
kind of what you want?
I mean, there's a piece.
Well, with all those undefeateds losing, it opens up a lot.
It's unlikely, but they wrote, John Wilner wrote in the UT this morning, if San Diego State ran the table and there was some chaos in the American Athletic Conference, it's possible San Diego State could get to the college football playoff.
Yeah,
it's unlikely, but it's not impossible if they won the rest of their games. Their one loss to Washington State doesn't look quite as bad as Washington State has played top 10 teams really tough, or top 20 teams really tough the last couple of weeks. Shouldn't have lost maybe either of them. Ended up losing them both, but it's not looking like that bad of a loss. We'll see. They play Fresno State at 12:30 on Saturday. It's a road game. It's a tough game. We'll see how they start the second half of their season, but currently tied for first place in the Mountain West. Boise State, who won over UNLV over the weekend, they'll have to come to Snapdragon later in the season. So you get Boise State on your home turf, gives you a chance at least to think about running the table, but it's one game at a time right now.
It's already a dramatic improvement from last year, and something to be very happy about if you're Sean Lewis and the Aztecs. But let's turn our attention to the 2 best words in sports, Ben.
Game 7.
Game 7. And the 2 worst words in sports if you're a fan of the Toronto Blue Jays or the Seattle Mariners. Our pal Softy in Seattle is going through it. And he is going through it hard right now. Obviously, a big M's fan his entire life. Oh, my gosh. Game 7 tonight. Who's on the bump again? It's Kirby.
And as of last night, they didn't announce anyone.
I saw
it's going to be Shane Bieber.
Morning.
Okay. I believe that. That makes sense.
Who do you like?
Yeah, Shane Bieber.
I have no earthly idea how to handicap this game. None. 0. I mean, they're at home. Toronto's
favored slightly.
Slightly favored.
But that's just because they're at home. And we know that in the history of baseball,
in the series.
That's right.
Really has no bearing. Home or road in a game 7. It's like 50-50 over the course of baseball history. Could go either way. It's whichever team hits the home run, finds the power in the home run. And both teams are more than capable of doing it. Which one will actually do it? And that's how it'll decide the game.
It's such an awful game. We told you about Eugenio Suarez. He had that grand slam. Then he made a couple errors. Didn't have a great game. How about Cal Raleigh? The season he's had goes 3 strikeouts, a double play, and a throwing error that led to a run. Cal Raleigh, I mean, it's just such an unfair game.
I think it's also to point out, even though they lost 6-2, they had chances. Bases loaded.
They did.
Two consecutive innings.
Double plays. Yeah.
I mean, see, I think that's why I'm picking Seattle.
Okay.
They've, of the last 4 games, I just feel like, Toronto has won 3 of them.
You're right.
But
it's a bold pick. Actually.
But I still think
when you say it like that, it's a bold pick.
But in all the games in Toronto, Seattle won the first 2, and they had plenty of chances in that one. I think they'll have their chances tonight. I think they get it done.
Kirby,
because I don't want to face the possibility of those Seattle fans going home.
Well, ask the question.
Disappointed again.
Ask the question: who's better equipped to beat the Los Angeles Dodgers? The Dodgers are the only team I think that can beat the Dodgers. But
at this point,
you think the Blue Jays?
I think both actually.
have the star power. Yeah. Woo! Mama.
I maybe the Blue Jays right now, unless Seattle's pitching starts looking like Seattle's pitching again,
they're toast.
But they haven't been. They've just been looking weak.
Fun show, boys.
All right, we will talk about it tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. That's it for us. For executive producer Paul Reindl and Stephen Woods, I'm Ben Higgins. Braden coming up next. Don't go away. Have a great rest of your Monday from all of us on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.